welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 33. I am your host, Taylor, and this week I'm, of course, joined by Anthony.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. Aiden,
Hi.
how's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
Doing all right, thank you. And then Ethan.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. All right, Ethan, you are probably the newest comer here to the show. So what do you do at Culture of Gaming?
I'm a writer. Mostly I run things Nintendo based, although I've been branching out a bit more recently. But the most recent piece I wrote was about video game sequels and reboots and how their naming conventions really matter to their ultimate success.
All right.
It was a fun piece.
And then do you have anything else coming down the pipe that you'd like to talk about, or?
Not much. Gamescom is coming up, so we're going to be doing a lot of coverage there with news articles and stuff like that. So in terms of opinion pieces, there's not much.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then what have you been playing this past week?
A big mixture of a lot of things. Dead Cells, Hollow Knight, the original Castlevania, actually. A little bit of BioShock.
All right.
And then that's about it. So.
Seems pretty fun.
That's it.
Seems pretty fun. All right, Aiden.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. So what do you do?
Yeah, I do like a lot of stuff. I've like written stuff. I've been doing a lot of a couple reviews lately for the site. I've made like one video. But right now I'm doing a lot of reviews for the site. I just reviewed Dead Cells, probably like the most infamous game right now in the world of video games. But I did that for the website. I am actually, since it's already out, I think I can talk about it. I'm going to review We Happy Few. I'm gonna be starting that soon. So that's pretty much it about in terms of this site right now.
How are you on We Happy Few? What's your impressions?
I haven't started it yet because I just got my code today.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna play it after this.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool.
And then what have you been playing?
So yeah, obviously, I'm still playing Dead Cells. I'm really bad at Dead Cells when I'm playing it. My whole summer has been ended up being dominated by Octopath Traveler, which I'm pushing 60 hours into it, and I'm still just starting the third chapters for each character. Okay. Like I think I'm on the third chapter of my second character, so still got a ways to go in that game. But I realize the criticisms a lot of people have, all the criticisms I've seen of it are valid. Definitely, but it's just hooked me. Like something about this game is hooked me.
Okay. Yeah, very fun game. All right, and then Anthony, you're Mr. Bossman here at COG. So everyone knows what you do. What have you been playing lately?
Oh, gee, I've been split between quite a few different things. So I picked up Path of Exile about 3 or 4, probably 4 or 5 days ago, and I've been streaming that a bit and getting absolutely told that I'm a noob and all that fun stuff. Yeah, school, that's it.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. I don't care. I am pretty much a noob at these kinds of games because I'm still new to PC gaming. And I've also been have been playing some Paladins as well, which we did a stream with Ethan yesterday.
That was fun. That was fun until we found out that we were playing robots or AI the entire time. Apparently, you don't actually get to play against real people until you get to level 5, and me and Anthony only found that out like halfway through the stream. Yeah. So it was still a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's okay.
So I managed to get to level 5, and then I've had one game against real people, and it's quite evenly balanced, which I like. So you're not just getting killed straight away the whole time.
Okay.
You have a chance to get some kills and to play properly without feeling like you're just absolutely useless.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and I also picked up Papers, Please, which I'm thinking about doing some YouTube stuff on that, because I've watched quite a bit of it, and it looks fantastic, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, if you ever see Anthony streaming, but the people he attracts are a ton of fun. Let's just say that. So make sure you go check it out, twitch.tv/cultureofgaming. All right.
What are you saying? I'm a bad influence?
No. I'm just saying the people that tend to come to your streams are always quite interesting characters. All right. So, let's see. This past week, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
World
with the
of
new
Warcraft.
expansion.
Yeah, Battle for Azeroth came out on Tuesday. I was there at
How is it?
launch. I pulled an all-nighter Tuesday night to get level cap the first night. It was absolutely
I
insane.
bet.
Yeah.
So the thing I've been hearing about for Azeroth is Legion. Legion was supposed to be a really, really good expansion, correct?
Yeah.
Does it match up to what Legion was, or?
All right. So, like, I can tell it's just because. So, for those of you who don't know, my main class in WoW has been a Death Knight, but
Okay.
then I got a spot on a raiding guild on an alt character, and so I capped my alt character first in a different role and like a different class I'm used to playing, and so he's the one who I went all night for and everything, just so I can get him as geared as fast as possible and everything. And I didn't quite enjoy the leveling experience, but
Okay.
I have started leveling my main Death Knight, and I am enjoying the leveling experience a lot more on him. So what I was going to say was like, you know, this is probably my least favorite expansion in terms of leveling type thing.
Really? Okay.
But I am waiting to cap my Death Knight before I pass Final Judgment. I think it'll work out a lot better in the end. But you know what? So far, so good. A lot of things are similar to Legion, which was the past expansion, in terms of how like you gear your character and everything. All the dungeons are a ton of fun. I will say that. Heroic is bordering on the heroic dungeon difficulty is bordering on overtuned. I don't know if anyone listening remembers or is here right now remembers Cataclysm launch, the difficulty of heroic dungeons there. It was it was pretty insane, although it was fun. I had fun during that time. It's almost the border there. And then Mythic, I haven't quite gotten to Mythic yet, so I'm not sure. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah. And then
As someone who's sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you
No, keep
fine?
going.
I was like, as someone who's never played World of Warcraft, like I understood like none of that. So,
Okay.
but I think I got that you liked it. You like it?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, so far so
Okay.
good. Yeah. Anyway, and then outside of WoW, major site redesign. Been working
Oh
on
my
that.
gosh. Yes, if you haven't gone to see the new site yet, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Major overhaul from what it looks like before. Kudos to you, Taylor, honestly. Was it you that was the major person in charge of the site redesign then?
Yeah.
Really impressive.
I basically it's
Bear
like
in mind, I didn't ask you to do any of this.
no, I basically it's like Anthony wanted like a thing implemented, or it's like I forget what we were trying to change on the original site.
Just an image, that was it.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
we were trying to change an
Oh,
image.
yeah.
I got so pissed off with all like the custom stuff I had to like sort through and whatnot, and I just said,
Yeah.
"You want screw it? I'm starting from scratch." And then here we
That's
are
awesome.
today. Yeah.
It looks
I'm gonna be,
really
like- Yeah.
it looks
it looks
really
a lot
modern,
better.
really sleek. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It
And
kind
so
of like fits in with like a lot of the major sites, like the
Yeah.
all white and like the minimalist design. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan.
yeah.
I'm a fan of bright websites.
On
Okay.
that note, the new graphic designer that you guys brought on,
Sean.
you made a new logo.
Yeah.
Sean. Yeah, the new logo looks really fantastic as well too. It's really everything about it is minimalistic and everything. It's,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
So Sean did incredible work. He's the person who's been doing a ton of like graphics for us lately and everything. He did our new Power Up podcast overlay and whatnot.
That looks good.
He's doing YouTube thumbnails for us. He's done all the new banners and logos you see on our Twitch and YouTube channels and everything. So yeah, he's just going to town and he does great work. And so anyway, of course, the main site is cultureofgaming.com, and as Ethan said, you should definitely go check out the new look. It works great on mobile, it works great on your PC, it works great on any device you want to access it for. We have 2 Facebook community groups. We have one for the main site, that is COG, and then we have one specifically for this Power Up podcast also. All right? So yeah, make sure you join both of those if you like the content. And then community
Find them
Discord.
down below.
Yeah. You can find it down below in our Twitch channel here, which is, of course, twitch.tv/cultureofgaming. All right. And then Discord. We have a community Discord where you can interact with myself and a bunch of other staff members. I think everyone on here is on the community Discord also.
Yes.
And so, yeah, you can find a link to join that also below in our Twitch channel, as well as on the main site itself. And then Twitter, we are at cog.net. Instagram has become more active at Culture of Gaming. YouTube, we don't have a neat custom YouTube URL yet, but you can find the link on our main site and other places. Also, just search Culture of Gaming on YouTube. It's the same place. Twitch.tv, of course, is Culture of Gaming. And we have a MySpace page for the Power Up podcast. MySpace.com/PowerPod. Go. What do you do on MySpace? Do you follow? Do you like?
Hey, you're the expert. You wanted it. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a MySpace for 1 year when I was like 13, so
Didn't
I
we all?
don't know what you do there.
Didn't we all? Okay.
Welcome to 1999, everyone. Follow our MySpace page.
Yeah. And one bigger point about all of these is that you guys, the audience, can be asking questions through any one of those channels, and we will answer them live, either at some point before the end of the show, or if they are super relevant enough to our discussion, we will get to them also as we're talking about it. Asking us stuff through whatever channel will get you entered into our monthly giveaway. We're going to announce the winner of that on next week's show for the month of August. And what are the people winning? It's a Nintendo-related thing?
Yeah, a Nintendo-related code. We're still in the process of trying to line something up.
Okay.
If that fails, then it's going to be like a eShop gift card or something like that. So, but definitely Nintendo-related, and it won't be stingy.
Okay.
It'll be worth it.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, that about does it for all of our introduction stuff and whatnot. So let's get right into our gaming news for this week. Ethan, tell us about all the cool stuff coming out on the Switch.
Well, as I said at the beginning of the show, I play a lot of Nintendo, so yeah, I follow the Switch a lot. And goodness, this week there was a lot of things announced to be coming to Switch.
Yeah.
First of all, huge surprise. First time Blizzard and Nintendo have been together in almost 20 years. Diablo 3 is coming to Switch. I totally blanked on when the release date was. It's sometime this year, though. What?
I don't think they gave a specific
They didn't give
release date.
Okay, I didn't think so either. It comes with all of the DLC, the expansions rather, that were in the original version, as well as like a Ganondorf skin, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or what? It's some sort of Ganondorf related package.
Yeah.
I have to say, it's really cool, first of all, that Blizzard and Nintendo are, like, doing something together, anything together. Those are two audiences that, like, hardly ever cross over. But I'm kind of wondering, why Diablo 3? It just...
So it's like... No, keep going.
It doesn't seem like the best fit for Switch, honestly. If I were to have my pick of Blizzard games, personally, I would say Hearthstone would be the
That's the one everyone like was assuming would be on Switch.
Yeah, right? Diablo 3, I think the beauty of the Switch is that it's how it's kind of attracted a lot of more adult audiences, but still yet, I feel like Nintendo consoles are known for like their kind of lighter, family-friendlier games. And considering that Diablo 3 is Blizzard's only M-rated game, it just seems weird, in my opinion, that they would do this.
When the Switch was announced, like there was a whole thing about how it featured no children at all, like it only featured like young adults.
Right.
Like, so I definitely think the Switch area, they are catering to adults. I mean, we have seen games like Wolfenstein and Doom that are M-rated.
Right.
I mean, all these games we are going to be talking about are M-rated. So,
Right.
I mean, I definitely think Nintendo this go around is trying to court. Well, they are trying to court an older audience with the Switch.
Yeah. It's a statement. It's a saying.
Yeah.
Hey, we are bringing games for adult audiences. I also think that's cool that in the trailer for Diablo 3 Switch, they had Reggie Fils-Aimé and Mike Morhaime talking together, just like over video chat, like they're old friends or something. I thought that just made my day. That was pretty cool. But
all right, so before you keep going with the other stuff, let's talk about just kind of like Blizzard on the Switch. So that in itself is a pretty decent topic.
Sure.
So, all right, you guys, a couple things I want to touch on there is that, so it's like you guys mentioned that, everyone kind of thought Hearthstone would be the first one, which, makes perfect sense and everything and whatnot, because the Switch has a touchscreen, and so, it would translate well, even if they were to do just, like, pretty much, like, mobile controls onto the Switch.
Yeah.
And so, that'd be fine. And it's like, it would be a minimal amount of effort to port it to the Switch or whatever.
Yeah,
I
would imagine.
Yeah.
It'll run easy enough.
I think Diablo is a really good bet because it sold really well and it plays really well on console, surprisingly. They've released it for both the 360 generation and the Xbox One generation and whatnot, as well as Sony also. Yeah. And so I think it kind of speaks to the Switch's versatility in the sense of, it's like not only can it host Diablo also, but it's also the one outside of maybe like Hearthstone or whatever, it's like the one big Blizzard game that can go onto the Switch with a proper control scheme and everything and whatnot. Because like World of Warcraft doesn't translate well to a controller, right? I mean, you can find like funny YouTube videos of people trying to play with a controller, but like StarCraft not great on controller either, obviously.
They said themselves.
Something I would do.
Yeah, Blizzard said themselves like StarCraft is. I think it's not likely for a Switch release.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
Overwatch, yeah, you could have a competitive shooter on the Switch, you know, I guess.
I think it's
but,
gonna
like,
happen.
Yeah, it'll probably happen.
I would imagine.
Isn't that the second part of the story? Also, though, is like they said that they think Overwatch is technically possible on the Switch.
Yes, they
It
said it's
is,
plausible.
Okay.
They I think, what was it? It was like a Polygon article, I think, where they basically the 1-2 statement was StarCraft probably not, Overwatch possibly.
Yeah.
I would say personally with Overwatch, Overwatch definitely it makes sense. It does work with a controller. Personally, I wouldn't want to play Overwatch on Switch necessarily because I prefer FPSs with mouse and keyboard. Nonetheless, though, I think it's probably the best bet of the Blizzard kind of suite. I guess.
It's not it's not that graphically intensive of a game either. Like it's not.
Right.
It's definitely
No.
it's like very cartoony, and so I think
Yeah,
I mean
it can be sad,
there
yeah.
are some there are like some potential issues with this Overwatch being on the Switch. Like I mean you need an internet connection to play it, so portability is kind of taken out a bit. But I mean I think it still fits. I think it still fits great on Switch because you were mentioning about like the hardcore, like the adult audience. Overwatch is very much stands out from the other Overwatch properties because it is so bright and cartoonish and like not necessarily violent. So it kind of does fit in with the overall Nintendo brand, even though it is like rated T, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony.
But that's only T, which is M over here.
Okay.
I mean, were you wanting to say something, Ethan? Or?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, pipe dream, if they made an Overwatch campaign mode and put that and then pack that into Switch, I would
It'll never
play that.
happen.
It will never happen, but I would play the death out of that.
Fair enough.
I've never played Overwatch, as I said yesterday to you, Ethan.
You
But
played Paladins, right?
yeah, played
More or less
Paladins,
the same
which
thing.
is very similar. Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah,
yes.
it's the same thing.
As far as control scheme, I'll ask you this, Ethan, because I don't know if any of if Taylor or you, Aiden, have played both. But are they similar as far as control schemes, or is Overwatch more technical? Or
Oh goodness, I would actually say Overwatch is a little more simplistic. Paladins,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Paladins has a lot more customization options, and
Okay.
from the
I would-
get-go, actually, the way that all the keys are mapped out is kind of
Yeah.
strange. Like you press F to sprint, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's
I
okay.
call Overwatch the FPS for people who don't play shooters because it is so like accessible and like I mean
I
it's
wrote
not
an
really
entire article on that actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have to do with how like, how this doesn't necessarily have to do with how like you play it mechanically, but like a lot of the characters aren't shooter. Like, there's so many different ways to play. Like, you can either be an offensive hero or defensive or support, and so there are different ways to play. Like, you kind of and like there is like a training mode too to let you like get in touch with. I don't know if the Paladins has that either, but allows you like just mess around with each character, see how they play, and so I definitely like Overwatch is definitely made. It obviously it's like has its whole esports league, but it definitely is made to be accessible for a wide audience, for like people who don't necessarily play Call of Duty or Battlefield games.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
say on that note, it's kind of similar to Splatoon almost, which is another Nintendo IP. It's one of those Splatoon is one of those games where you can be running around the map, inking up territory, not necessarily be going after people, and still helping your teammates. And Overwatch kind of has that same sort of appeal. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it makes
Well,
sense.
as far as shooters coming to the Switch, I reckon that either Overwatch or Paladins are probably the best picks because they're not.
Paladins is
necessarily-
already on.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
already on there, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
$30.
Cool.
Damn.
Well, it's free
And it
on
has-
Steam, so
Yeah.
And it has Fortnite, aka the biggest shooter in the world. So
yeah,
Shooter.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like, I don't see them porting something like Rainbow Six over to it or something
no.
like that because that's
Yeah.
too.
I don't think that's
intense
technically
kind of
possible.
Greedy.
thing. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I don't see a Call of Duty or Battlefield game going on for that exact reason.
Right.
I mean, they could, but then we'd have another
Well,
like Wii situation where it's
okay,
like a scaled down version.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
if they didn't put Black Ops on the Wii, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they could do.
I never say
Very
never.
true.
If you had asked me a couple years ago if they would put, if you've told me 2 years ago that they would put Doom and Doom Eternal on Switch, I would have laughed in your face. I wouldn't have said that. So I don't know.
That is kind of a different case because Bethesda has like actually shown like they want to support the Switch and
Right.
like but like EA and Activision have kind of had a more hands-off
Been more
approach.
than-
General, like I think Activision has only put Crash Bandicoot on the Switch so far, and like EA's just put its sports games, so they've definitely like not as been as I don't want to say supportive, but they haven't been as active on the Switch as Bethesda has, which is like made an actual effort to put their games on the Switch.
And there's honestly no way like we'll be seeing an EA game anytime soon on the Switch, I would say now, just because so it's like EA as a studio is mandating that all their games use the Frostbite engine. And there's no way that Frostbite will scale down enough.
I mean, I think FIFA is coming this year, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, that's probably like the most we're gonna get. And like, I mean, I'm surprised. Like, there are some games that I think are surprised, but like outside of sports games, like there's just no way.
Yeah.
If we're not getting, if the Switch isn't getting Unravel,
Yeah.
then
Right.
we're not getting much at all.
True.
All right, so Ethan, why don't you move on with the next two parts of this,
We'll do.
and then we'll get
we
into
kind-
a bigger discussion of Nintendo's audience kind of changing a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Alright.
Sounds good. On that note, I kind of briefly touched on it, but Doom Eternal also is coming day and day to Switch at the same time that PC and PS4 and Xbox One, which is really awesome. Aiden mentioned it earlier. I really applaud Bethesda's kind of support of the Switch. They've been like the primary third-party.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Would have guessed that Bethesda would be the main third-party support of the Switch.
Right.
It's awesome. It's crazy. On that note, did any of you see the Doom Eternal trailers?
Yes.
That
Yes.
came out?
It's so good.
Holy cow! It looks exhilarating, fantastic. That grappling hook.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I love the one where he
hooks.
walks up to the guy and just kind of drags him by the neck to open it.
I
on
know.
His chair is like
It's insane. I saw
awesome.
somebody on Twitter making like this comparison. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Doom Eternal both had their initial trailers going out on the same day.
Yeah.
And with Red Dead Redemption 2, it was like this peaceful kind of documentary showcasing
Mhm.
the various parts.
The natural
of the
beauty.
systems,
Then
the ecosystems.
hell.
Then
Quite
forget it.
literal.
We're just gonna run at 50 miles an hour and show you every possible way that you could kill anything in
Yeah.
Doom Eternal. It's fantastic. It's awesome. And
And
I'm
then
honestly
the
surprised it's
big
coming.
BFG. The big BFG.
Oh, wait a minute. What? I didn't see that.
You know, the giant like planetary cannon that's
Right.
shooting green? That's a giant
Oh.
BFG.
Amazing.
Wait, isn't that redundant? It's the
It's
It has
It's due.
it has the official name of a BFG.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's the
but-
big friendly gun.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. I mean, but you said you're surprised. I'm not really surprised at all that it's coming day and date because I mean, the first Doom did come on Switch, and that was like, and obviously, granted, that was after the release of the first Doom, but that was also before Nintendo Switch was released. So, I mean, they already showed that Doom can run on the Switch. Like, whether it can run as well as on the PS4 and Xbox One is a different discussion. But it shows that it can be played on these games. So I like when I saw that was on Switch, I was like excited, but also was like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, the one company behind this, Panic Button, I believe it is, they've been porting a ton of all the big third-party stuff, Skyrim and Doom,
Yeah.
and now Doom Eternal. The Panic Button is working magic over there. I'm kudos to them for getting all these big third-party games over there. You want me to move on to the next game?
No, I'm just gonna say I hate to rain on the party and everything.
Sure.
Because like as happy as I am that it's like I love my Switch, right? You've heard me talk about it plenty
Yeah.
of times on the
Right.
show and whatnot. It's like I love the damn thing, and it's like as happy as I am that Bethesda is giving third-party support. I was really disappointed with the Doom port on the Switch, actually, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like it was
get
unplayable
it.
for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said. That's why I said like whether it runs is a different story. But like,
Yeah.
I don't want to like say like I'm gonna forgive them because they are putting it on the Switch, but it like at least they are showing a commitment to putting like these big like high profile games on the Switch, and especially
Yeah.
like now putting it day and date, like that's showing even more support and confidence in the system.
Yeah, and
So,
it is
like-
also nice too that it's like if the Switch is your primary system, like it is for a lot of people, actually, that they get like
Yeah.
a fun experience that is Doom, or what will be Doom Eternal, probably, assuming that it goes as well as the first one. So,
Yeah.
Anthony, what were you going to say up there?
They might chuck a Elder Scrolls game on there eventually, which would be awesome to see, like the
That's
new
Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, Skyrim's a bit of a different story because it's already like 10 years old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, we need to chuck it there because it's everywhere else.
Sure.
But for a new IP, it's a little bit. To me, it's a little bit different anyway. So
Yeah.
I
it'd
really
be-
hope that Blades ends up on the Switch
That would be
I
neat.
can see
Yeah.
it. Like
When's
the
that
only
coming out?
later this year, I think.
I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
in beta right now. You can sign up.
yeah.
Okay.
And download it or whatever. But
Yeah, the only reason I don't see Elder Scrolls 6 coming on and Starfield is I mean, they could surprise me, but like Bethesda said those games are definitively next generation. So that's going to be on an even more powerful system than what we have now.
Mhm.
But I mean, I would love to see all this like support Bethesda have. Like, what if this does mean they're going to make a third-party exclusive game for the Switch? Like, but first, like when they announced like Skyrim, I'm like, oh, maybe. But then like the more and more games they put on this, I'm like, I could see it happening. Like maybe not a like a Bethesda Game Studios game, but a Bethesda published game that's exclusive to the Switch. I could see it happening.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Elder Scrolls Legends on there either. Like, if
Right.
Hearthstone has a solid
True,
chance, then Legends
true.
has a solid chance also, to be honest.
Mm.
Alright,
Yeah.
anyway. And then the final part of
Absolutely.
this. Ethan, go ahead.
yeah, not quite as exciting as Diablo 3 or Doom Eternal, but Dark Souls Remastered is it finally got a release date for October 9th on Switch.
Okay.
I'm sad that this took so long.
It's
Honestly,
supposed to be out in
It's-
May.
Yeah.
The weird story about this was that Dark Souls Remastered was actually initially the initial trailer was on a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which that was the exciting thing at the time, was that like, okay, Nintendo's made it. They're back in the highlight
Right.
in order to debut a remaster of
Yeah.
one of the greatest games of all time, third party.
Yeah.
And then it ended up taking like all summer to get it on there. Regardless, I'm gonna get it. I've never played Dark Souls before, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. It's like the Dark Souls on the Switch has been in the works for a while, by the way.
Yeah.
Like around
Yeah.
And they've had issues with it as well.
Yeah.
As far as frame rate and all that, because when they dropped their previous trailer,
Yeah.
that looked shocking.
Yeah, but it's like the initial thing about, oh, we're getting Dark Souls on the Switch was part of a larger rumor that said they have 2 and 3 also working on the Switch,
Yeah. Okay.
which to me is insane. But I've always
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
crazy.
lent some credence to that rumor, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I hope so.
I mean, I think like I think it's like a good like by like the nature of it being October, I think it's a good release date because it is like like with the whole aesthetic and vibe of Dark Souls. But
Halloween.
I'm also like it would have been a perfect summer game, and October is kind of there's a lot going on in October and the fall following it. Like maybe not necessarily on the Switch itself, so that it does have a different audience. But I mean, Red Dead is like at the end of the month, so it's some time. But October is a pretty stacked month. This fall is pretty stacked in general. So
Yeah.
I mean, similar to the Spyro delay, like I just worry that these games are going to get lost in the shuffle and especially because it is a remaster against all these brand new high-profile games. So I just hope it does turn out good, so we can see Dark Souls 2 and 3 on the Switch. But I don't know, it's a little worrying,
when does
especially
Assassin's
because it
Creed
took so
Odyssey?
long. The
When
does
5th.
The
Okay.
5th of October. Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow,
Good
that
lord.
is a big month. That is a freaking big month. Good night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Red Dead is at the exact end of it, but still, like, that's
Yeah.
gonna once that comes out, that's gonna like
That's gonna
maybe it's
drown
even if-
everything.
Dwarf everything.
yeah, yeah.
Is that coming to Switch though?
No.
No.
It's not even coming to PC on release.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
mean,
Red
that
Dead-
happened
Red
with the
Dead-
first one.
Which
Red
by
Dead
the-
1 is
well,
still
yeah.
not on PC.
Which, by the way, what the hell, Rockstar? Like, it takes
I
you guys
agree.
like another year also to get GTA 5 on the PC? Like,
Yeah.
And like on that note, when are they going to announce GTA 5 for Switch? I feel like it would have happened at the end of this year.
oh man, that'd
Even
be
if
brutal.
they just did that, just to push their sales to the 100
Oh,
million,
that would totally be it.
that would make
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, guess what? You guys get it last. We just want our 100 million sales now. So
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
though.
know.
Personally, I'm gonna be buying Dark Souls Remaster on the Switch over Red Dead, but that's just me. To be quite
Okay.
honest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean everyone
Really?
has their thing.
I hate Dark Souls, so
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm not actually a massive fan of Rockstar Games, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
I've had a couple
I
of
get
fun
that.
like nights with the boys playing on GTA Online and everything, but you know it's like off, on and off and everything. It's nothing really
Yeah.
that I've been able to play
No.
for the past 5 years consistently or anything.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like I appreciate those games and what they do, and like realize they're extremely some of the best made games out there. But
Oh,
I can only take in. I kind of get overwhelmed when there's such an expansive open world. Like I kind of just like I don't know what to do here. Like so I appreciate them, but they're not games for me.
Yeah.
I think that I would have felt the exact same way a year and a half ago, but now that I've played Breath of the Wild, like I feel like that game. It's weird that a Zelda game has kind of opened me to the idea of like these Skyrim and
I mean,
Grand Theft Auto and stuff.
the open world of Breath of the Wild though is very different from the open world of GTA, and I'm assuming is going to be Red Dead because GTA is just so dense with what you can do in that world. Like it's not just how open it is, but that there's so much you can do in that world as well. Like you can literally like you can play just a game of tennis and have that be your game.
Right. There's also something to really be said about how it guides you through the world and introduces you to it. Like in my opinion, like Breath of the Wild does a much better job of introducing you to the world and guiding you through it than GTA 5 does with their massive world.
Really?
So yeah.
But then again, like that, I know we're going off tangent here, but I would say that's really not the point of GTA. Like the point, like yes, there is a story and a campaign in GTA, but really the point of GTA is like to have this world where you are free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whereas Breath of the Wild, they are trying to tell you a story.
Right.
And they're trying to lead you kind of down a path that then you can branch up and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Like I totally agree with the whole like Rockstar game thing. With Red Dead, when I played that was okay. It wasn't too over dense, and it wasn't too frantically trying to do everything kind of thing. Whereas with GTA, when you jump into it, like I just get lost because it's like, oh great, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah blah blah. And sure, you can take your time doing it, but it's I don't know. I would prefer a game that's kind of like Breath of the Wild, where it's linear, but then you can do what you want.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So Anthony, let's how about the PS4 Pro 500 mil edition? What is this? Does it cost $500 million or?
No, not quite. So basically, Sony they've basically developed a kind of a limited edition console because they've sold 503 million consoles.
Oh,
Damn.
It's 503 million consoles, I believe it is.
Okay.
And they've developed a special edition version of the PS4 that has 2 terabytes of data, 2 terabytes of storage, which is a first for Sony.
As I look at my 6 terabyte drive in my PC.
can that just be Can that be standard?
That is standard.
Well, no, okay. I mean, can 2 terabyte be standards from now on? Because like games are getting really big.
Yeah.
I want 2 terabyte SSD standard, please. Thank you.
So there, and it's also like if you look at some of the trailers and kind of art for it, it's got like a black, it's kind of a blue whitewashed, I suppose. So it's like kind of blue splattered everywhere, and it's like a black console, but it's got blue hints.
And it's translucent a little bit, right?
It has a translucent case, which is when you buy the console and it's in the box, it's got a translucent box, so as you can see what you're getting kind of thing. The logos, so the PS4 logo and the top PS logo are both gold.
Oh wow!
And it also comes with a blue, black, and gold controller as well, and also a special edition headset that is not on the market. It's only available for this console.
There's a link in the chat to a picture of it. This thing looks absolutely insane.
Sick.
Absolutely.
It looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
When I saw it in picture, like the picture of it, I was like, oh, it looks fine. But then I saw a video of it, and I was like,
it looks great.
Because like my first ever video game system I owned was the translucent blue GBA. So I just like it's like kind of like nostalgia thing for me. But I kind of want the controller more than I want the console.
I don't blame you. That thing looks cool too.
Like I saw that, and I saw the Spider-Man controller. Have you guys seen the Spider-Man controller?
Yeah.
So like I was like, I don't care about the consoles, even though I probably should upgrade to a PS4 Pro at this point. But I'm like, give me these controllers.
Okay. But wait, we can't buy it, can we? It's out of stock.
No.
On Amazon, sold out within a minute. So they basically opened up pre-orders at 10. I think it was either 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.
Okay.
10 a.m. Wednesday, the 15th of August, and the first wave of stock was apparently gone by 10:01.
So will we get another wave of stock?
Yes, there is another wave coming.
Okay.
However, you're gonna need to get on it because judging by the previous wave,
45
it'll go
seconds.
pretty darn quick. Yeah, 45 seconds.
I don't know if you mentioned how many did they make? Do you know?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yes,
Another
they
500 million.
Yeah.
Imagine.
They expect
Made one
everyone
for
that
everyone
bought one
sold.
before to buy it again.
It's a lot less than 500 million. I guarantee that.
Yes, it is. I can't find the number though. They made 23.
They may not have said. Oh, that's not really a lot at all.
Yeah.
In a minute.
And like,
where is it?
the thing is, like, a lot of those, probably a lot of those are gonna be just were bought just to sell them.
50,000.
That is also not a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, Aiden brings up a good point. These are gonna be scalped to hell, to be honest.
Yes, exactly.
Wait,
It's like-
I'm gonna go on freaking eBay right now. I'm going to find
Okay.
It's like the NES Classic and SNES Classic all over again.
$2,500 PS4 Pro bet.
Yep.
All right, we calling this now. Okay.
So for the pre-order price, it is £449 in the UK, which is like 700 and something over here, which is like 500 and something US, 555 I believe it is US.
Yeah, the normal Pro is I think $399, so it kind of makes sense. That's a little more expensive than your average PS4 Pro.
Yeah. So as well as a console and controller, you also get a matching PlayStation camera, vertical stand, and mono headset. Gold wireless headset, stereo headphones will also be available that match the main aesthetic of the new console.
Okay.
Only 50,000 units were made.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's just basically gone.
Okay.
So eBay scalpers have taken the internet by storm. I'm looking at a page right now. The pre-orders are selling for about $900 to $1,000. Some idiot put it up.
Lower than I thought it'd be.
Yeah. Some idiot put his up for like 25,000, but he's
Someone is going to buy that.
Yeah.
probably honestly.
Welcome,
there's
Tomer
something like 1500.
007 in the chat. Welcome, Tomer.
Crazy.
Anyway. Yeah. So, all right. If I were to buy another PS4 Pro, it'd be the Kingdom Hearts edition line. That's coming out in
that one
June.
looks nice.
Yeah, that one looks nice.
I as much as I would love Kingdom Hearts and everything, that Spider-Man one though looks so nice though.
Yeah,
I
man,
wish
that looks awesome.
I wish there was like more blue. Like I really wish they made the middle layer like a Spider-Man blue, or like the bottom layer. But I mean, it just looks so nice.
Red and webby.
I just wish I wish I could afford. I mean, I wish I could afford another console in general.
It does look amazing.
All right. So, Anthony,
yeah.
plan on trying to bargain it with one of the scalpers for one of these things?
For 25,000, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mortgage your house real quick.
Yeah, remortgage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So they haven't actually advised when they're going to be putting another wave up for pre-order. They'll probably just do it last minute, and then they'll just probably won't warn anybody and just be like, hey, here they are.
I just imagine someone ninja dropping it, you know? Just be like.
Yeah, I kind of like that approach though. So it's not like people are just hovering. Like I mean, I kind of like I can see like the appeal, the merits of having like people know when to be ready, but also kind of like just whenever you're ready, here it is.
Yep.
It is whenever you're ready.
If there is anyone interested in finding one of these, I know a site, nowinstock.com. I use that to get my SNES Classic.
Okay.
It'll alert you, send a text to your phone whenever something is in stock. Who knows if that'll be enough time? Because again, sold out in a minute. It won't. Yeah, it won't.
Yeah,
but
people won't.
I would recommend that. Probably your best bet if you want to have a slight chance of getting it. Nowinstock.com.
Even the SNES Classic didn't sell out that quick. Crazy.
I mean, it's definitely a lot easier to get both an NES and SNES Classic nowadays, too.
Yeah, I mean, initially when they first.
Yeah.
Also,
it wasn't the situation that NES was by far.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's a lot more easier to convey what the PS4 Pro is for another like resale type thing, as opposed to like the SNES Classic or whatever. Just in my opinion. Yeah. All right. So, any concluding thoughts on this one, or we okay?
I want it. I'm not gonna get it.
I want it.
Okay. I think we all want it. Okay. All right.
Oh, just one extra thing actually, which I've just seen. So the people who have pre-ordered this, the people who got it within the minute, it ships on the 24th of August.
Oh, what?
Oh,
From
wow.
Amazon.
That's like 6
Pretty
days
soon.
from now. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
soon.
lucky pre-orderers.
Yeah. All right.
So like a 10-day turnaround.
That's really
Great.
good, actually.
It's good. Yeah.
All right. So, Aiden, an EA executive, is rich as hell.
Yeah.
What else is
And
new?
like,
But
yeah. Probably, and yeah, and EA, he also was given the opportunity to be even more rich before deciding to
Yeah.
leave the company. So Patrick, I don't know if you guys really follow the background, the like business side of the industry. Patrick I'm gonna butcher his name, Soderlund. Yeah, he was.
Sunderland?
No, there's no. There's
No
there's no
N.
N in it. It's like yeah. So I can't remember what his exact title was when he left, but he's been with the company for almost 20 years. He worked his way up from like working at DICE, which is will factor into this story soon, and he just announced recently that he was leaving the company. He didn't announce it. It was in by the CEO of EA, like left a email to the company that also was posted on the website. Interestingly, like this, I mean, I don't really know how. There's a lot of parts to this story. Like I said, I put in 2 articles here, and the interesting is EA really wanted to keep him. They offered him a 20 million bonus to get him to stay. And let's see, he was making about by the time he left, he made about $48 million.
like grand
and-
total or just for the year?
Last year.
Okay.
66.7. I'm saying yeah.
Good
That's
God.
good.
And
anyway,
the
keep going.
median salary of an EA employee is about $96,000.
Okay, that's
Which is
nothing
like-
to scoff
Good
at
now.
either.
That's
nothing to
still
scoff
No,
at.
but-
pretty-
But compared
that's
to
a-
46 million, that's a lot.
That's a fraction.
Yeah.
And
I'll take 96,000 a year. any day.
so, I mean, speaking of DICE, obviously, DICE was at the center of what was a very controversial year for EA last year, with the whole like Star Wars microtransactions things. And recently, EA, in another interview with GamesIndustry.biz, I can't remember the exact executive's name, said that they had what is called a moral compass when they're going to bring in their microtransactions. Like they are gonna have a team to like test them out earlier in development so they can change them around. And it's because obviously they got a lot of backlash. They are going to be in Battlefield 5, which is also like kind of factored in the story. Like sales, apparently pre-orders are not looking good for Battlefield 5.
No.
So it's like I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's like all kind of like I wonder if him leaving has anything to do with their new stance on microtransactions, which is obviously a very going to be a very important thing for EA in the future. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this whole topic. It's a lot. There's a lot
Didn't
going
he get
on.
like
in
a
it,
massive severance also? Like, didn't he get a
Um,
massive severance also?
Do you know
I
why he
don't-
left? Did he give like an
No.
explanation? No.
He didn't say anything about leave. It wasn't his announcement or anything. It was the CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson. He was the one who announced his departure. I don't think Patrick Sutherland has talked about it yet.
Wow.
And this guy's earned more than the CEO of EA, apparently.
What did he do? Like, what did he do?
Okay, let's see. I'm
Okay.
trying to see. I probably should have done this before, but I also
No, that's
forgot.
fine. Alright.
He is also he was right now when he left he was looking over the whole EA studios, like all of EA studios, the
Okay.
worldwide studio. So he was like in charge of their whole team and also was the
Okay.
chief design officer of EA.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he
Cool.
was like he was pretty like integral to the whole
Okay.
operation.
Yeah. So
So
it's like basically.
being paid for 2 roles, kind of thing.
Well, kind of. It's basically like he's not only in charge of, or it's like he basically has whatever sort of like overall design decisions EA has. He has complete control of that over the world, like over all
Yeah.
the worldwide studios type thing. So it's like this dude was definitely important to some degree. You know, it's like, yeah.
Slightly.
Honest, outside of this whole issue of Sutherland leaving EA, I find it interesting seeing these figures for how much the average employee makes. Do you
I
think
mean,
that might be telling of EA's character? I mean, you know, EA has been getting a lot of flack, obviously, for
I
the
don't know, that's,
microtransactions
I don't know,
and
that's
stuff.
pretty
But do you
close to
think they...
median for like software development.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty, like, I think, yeah, the standard for video game development is like 100,000.
Yeah.
I think is like about the average for developers.
if you
Which
scale,
that-
if you expand that
that's-
industry into like software development in general, that's
Yeah.
above the median actually.
Yeah, that
Right.
like that's 100,000 sounds like a lot, but like when you're working like 60 hours a week and like
Right.
overtime and
Yeah.
very little sleep, it's like they don't really get paid fairly for what they
Yeah.
do. I mean, we all, like, last time I was on, we had the whole conversation about unionizing video game
Mhm.
developers. So I
Yeah.
mean, so it kind of ties into that in a way, but this conversation specifically, but yeah, EA really wanted him to stay, but so I don't, obviously, like we said, Battlefield 5, like going back to that game doesn't seem to be doing so well at this very moment. Like, you don't really see people talk about it as that really much since its initial announcement, and like even then when it was talked about, it was this whole, like, I mean, completely dumb controversy about quote unquote
Right.
historical accuracy.
Yeah.
And but besides that, like, there's really no buzz about it. I mean, I think it was the Wall Street Journal mentioned. I should have put that one into the thing. Like, pre-orders are not looking good.
Yeah, I read
right
that
now,
one last
so-
night. I read that one last night, and or maybe
Yeah.
it was something different. But it was more like that it's like they're not paying attention to day one sales so much anymore.
Yeah.
EA
I
is-
mean, the
yeah.
Wall Street Journal yeah, but they have a paywall, so like you have to like look at sources of it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see but so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I mean, obviously DICE. I mean, it may not be DICE specifically as much as EA as a company, but I mean, Battlefront was the whole the whole epicenter of the anti-EA controversy last year, since their game
Yeah.
was involved microtransactions. So, I mean, EA's like definitely been trying like crazy to try to regain favor,
Right.
what little favor they had of the gamers. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is like a form of, it's obviously not them trying to do damage control, like, because they want him to stay, but I just like, it's just really interesting. There seems like there's a lot. I don't know if EA is worried at all about the state of what's happening, but it just seems to be
Well, yeah. I mean, so he was thinking about leaving last year, and they granted him a 20-point-something million raise, and he actually got that raise.
yeah.
And then he decides to leave. So maybe they're like absolutely desperate to keep him on, but I mean, that's a bit rough of him to get the money, and he's like, "Oh, see you later, bye."
Oh yeah.
I suppose EA
I
can
don't know. He
afford
never
it,
has to
though.
work another day in his life if he doesn't want to.
Not really.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with What do you do with, like, I mean, $20 million? What do you do with $40 million? Like, I can't comprehend
Play
that kind
all
of
the
money.
video games you've ever wanted to play for the rest of your
Ev-
life. That's what I do. Yeah.
Or just do what Taylor does and spend the rest of your life playing World of Warcraft. And
Yeah, exactly.
then
Just
you-
become
exactly.
like buy a bunch of WoW tokens and it's like become the richest person in WoW. Okay. Yeah.
Either that or change your name in WoW like 100,000 times.
Yeah. Just like new name every day. Okay.
But okay, so I got like kind of a secondhand source of the Wall Street Journal, because again, payroll, and this article mentions that wonders if they are going to have another Titanfall 2 situation with Battlefield 5. I mean, it's a little different because Titanfall 2 was released right in the middle of Battlefield
remind
1
me.
and Call of Duty. What I think it was Infinite Warfare
Yeah.
that year,
Yeah.
and Titanfall 2 it didn't stand a chance. Like, it just was dead on arrival, and obviously that was partly to blame because of EA, because one of the games was their own. But so that, like, Battlefield 5 is dropping right in the middle of Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and Red Dead Redemption, obviously the two biggest games of the year. And so is it going to be in a situation where this game is just dead on arrival, which Battlefield is one of, like, I don't think they're sending it out to die, because Battlefield is one of EA's most important franchises. It's like one of their, like, star players, but like, is this game dead on arrival?
I think-
Is it going to fare? Does it have a chance?
I think there's a noticeable trend, or it's like you can observe with EA's confidence in a product and when they release it. For example, although Titanfall 1 was eventually very successful and everything, they, for whatever reason, didn't have a lot of confidence in Titanfall 2, which is why I think they dropped it between Battlefield 1, which they obviously had a ton of confidence in, and Infinite Warfare. That wasn't their competitor. So it's like, by EA releasing 2 games in that window, or whatever, they pretty much win either way, just statistically based and everything.
Yeah.
But, so it's like, in this case also, it's like, so you split it up roughly like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or whatever. It's like, so it's like, say roughly 1/3 of the people will get RDR2, a third will get Battlefield 5, a third will get Black Ops 4, or whatever. To me, it says I don't think EA is like very confident in Battlefield 5 for whatever reason. You know, that's not to speak about the quality of the product, because I mean Titanfall 2 is an insane game, like absolutely awesome game. So that's not to speak towards the quality of the product. I think just from a business standpoint, how confident they are in Battlefield 5 selling or whatever. And I think they kind of gauge that based on, you know, people's reaction to the setting, stuff like that, etc., etc. And they're also and it's like, compared to the past, also like Battlefield games, they're also set in general to make less money on day one or through pre-orders or whatever, just because they're taking away the season pass system.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which, I mean, the whole thing about not having confidence, which I find really strange, because Battlefield 1 had so much goodwill behind it. Like, I mean, Call of Duty beat it in terms of sales, but even before those games came out, people were like much more. I mean, the general public seemed like the gaming public seemed much more enthusiastic about Battlefield 1 than Infinite Warfare, which is like the most disliked video game trailer. Which is, I mean, that's that's a whole different thing. But people seem to really respond positively to Battlefield 1, which so I don't like. It's just weird why it seems like, if this is true, like what is wrong with this game that EA isn't confident in it?
Well, it's like, I can give you like an anecdotal thing right now. It's like, I'm a massive Battlefield fan or whatever. Like, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since, I don't know, let's call it like Black Ops, maybe? Or no, let's call it Modern Warfare 3. Okay? I haven't played a Call of Duty game since like Modern Warfare 3, really, right? I'm actually more, and it's like, I played Battlefield. You know, it's like, I played Battlefield when Modern Warfare 3, right? Battlefield 3 was still around, played Battlefield 4, haven't bought Call of Duty since pretty much Battlefield 3, right? So it's like, anecdotally, this year, I'm actually more excited for Black Ops 4 than I am for Battlefield 5. Just because
that is a consensus I've seen.
Yeah, just because like it is a World War II game, and it's like we've had a ton. You know, Call of Duty World War II was last year. A lot of people played that game, and it's like one was so unique and everything because we hadn't really had a World War I game before, and their approach to it was insane. Yeah.
And even when, sorry if you want to say something.
No. All I was going to say was, do you think that the anger of this game is directed more towards EA or towards DICE? Would you think?
EA.
How about EA?
No, I would
be curious.
I don't know.
I would be curious in that case to see how Anthem is doing in terms of pre-order sales.
I would bring it. I mean, no, I would
that
actually.
Anthem has its own concerns. I'm sorry.
I would argue the opposite, that people are more upset with the DICE over it versus EA, because like when you look at the grand scheme of things and everything, it's like the design. So it's like people will get pissed at EA if they think there's an unfair like monetary policy concerning the game, or whatever, because you know they're the ones that really make the money and everything from it. But then it's like from game design decisions and whatnot, they're gonna be more upset at the people that actually developed the game, because you know they were more or less in charge of the design decisions overall.
That is true. That is true, but like you do see like everyone always getting up on EA.
Well, yeah, it is fun to hate
as
EA.
a company.
Yeah, it is fun to
so
hate
like
EA,
not.
But
I mean,
EA is the front runner for it though. They're like the main PR people for it, and it's DICE is kind of in the background. So it's like EA, you're publishing it, sort DICE out kind of thing.
Well, I mean, Taylor said himself, DICE is still in kind of a weird spot as it is, and BioWare as well is kind of in a weird spot with Mass Effect and Andromeda. So really, by that effect, EA is in kind of a weird spot at the moment.
Oh, 2017 was a bad year for EA.
Yeah.
Very bad, yes.
I mean, then there's other things too, like how, like, I mean, there's other things too, like how, like, their handling of the Star Wars license. They're like, closing of studios. I mean, yeah, Anthem is a whole different thing. Like, there are very valid reasons to be worried about Anthem and how it's gonna perform. Maybe not perform, but how it is going to be as a game. But that's neither here nor there. But I will say, like, going back to your point about Call of Duty World War II, like how like another World War II game, that was the first World War II like main high-profile World War II shooter in years, though.
Yeah,
like,
in a while.
In a way, like it kind of was fresh in a way that, because like Call of Duty has been going increasingly futuristic,
right?
And so this was like a new turn, and so obviously these two studios, I mean, they may have they may hear like rumblings of what the other is doing, but like they're not going to know what the other studio is doing until like they publicly announce it. So it was like the whole thing when people thought Call of Duty was copying Battlefield when they did World War II, but I mean obviously they weren't, because that's by nature of game development. So I mean this has obviously been in the works for a while. I mean, it makes sense to follow World War I with World War II.
Right.
I mean, and World War II is still very popular as like there's this whole like fascination in society. Like, I mean, I obviously don't know international, but the American public, there is still this fascination with World War II. That, and like they do seem to be going the similar approach as Battlefield 1. Like, I mean, save for the Battle Royale mode, but the campaign is going to be similar, where it's different vignettes of like different stories set during World War II, and like they seem to be doing all the same things as Battlefield 1 is doing. So I am kind of confused at why Battlefield 5 isn't really resonating with people.
I think
Metal arms.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't want to say that was a fake controversy, but like out of all the things to get pissed off about, that's not one of them. Like, I was more pissed off about the drop shotting that was shown in the trailer, because oh my god, that is annoying in multiplayer, as opposed to whatever prosthetic arm that chick was rocking. Okay, and it's it's like I was more upset that they actually showed off drop shotting in the trailer. Okay, but anyway, it's like I think one thing I kind of think DICE missed an opportunity here. They showed that. I don't want to say World War I is necessarily unique or whatever, but Battlefield 1 is very unique because no one had tried and tackled World War I in that scale before.
It is
and
unique,
I think they could have done like something similar maybe this year if Battlefield 5 took place in the Korean War. I don't think we've had a Korean War game before.
No.
And that's the whole thing as well. Like, game developers, just because Call of Duty does something doesn't mean that Battlefield then has to go out and try and beat them. I mean, the whole thing is, and this is what really annoys me as well with like Battlefield and Call of Duty, do your own thing. Just because Call of Duty goes and makes World War II, and I mean, sure, they might have had plans for World War II previously, or whatever, but look at the market, and see, okay, well, they've done World War II, let's change our approach, let's go for the Korean War, or let's go for Vietnam, or something like that, even though Vietnam's been overexposed years back, but still, redo it, kind of thing.
I think, go ahead, keep going.
And also, like, with the whole DICE and EA thing, I think that it's like, it's weird, because it's like the EA thing, E3 thing that we saw, like the trailer. They didn't really show anything off the game. They showed like a 2-minute clip, and that was, or not even that, a 1-minute clip, and that was it. And then, bang, there's the game. I think that people were more annoyed at EA rather than DICE, because DICE doesn't really have anything to do with the whole publication of the game and the whole PR stuff. EA presenting it, and EA should have been the one to be like, okay, give us a longer trailer, kind of thing.
And I think the like broader point I'm trying to make here, or like the condensed point I'm trying to make, is like with Battlefield 1, EA and DICE really show it that they can bring hype and like a take in a very like unique take and scale on a not so known setting or whatever, or a not so explored setting. And I think they could have capitalized on the fact that they could do it if they put Battlefield 5 in, say, like, Korea or Vietnam or something.
Well, who else is going to do it? I mean, it's either Battlefield or Call of Duty. There's no one else really to do it. So.
Right.
I mean, I will say to your point, like, I mean, it's about, like, redoing the game. Realistically, I mean, we all know they can't. It's not that easy to just completely change over the game, because, I mean, the fact that this game's coming out this year, I mean, that's been in development they've been working on it like for a while.
Right.
But I think like I really don't think making it World War II was necessarily a mistake, because I said like it is still popular in a way, but like it does it makes sense as a progression from World War One to World War Two. Like
Yeah.
going from World War One to the Korean War is kind of like it's kind of a weird jump. Like I'm just like that seems kind of random.
On
But, like,
that
it-
note,
like- oh
on
yeah,
that note, I think the previous game was Battlefield 1 and this is Battlefield
Yeah.
5, so I don't think there really is a progression there, honestly.
no, these names are
Yeah.
awful.
Right.
Yeah,
And what have they done previously? Like they've had 4 games in modern settings, and then they've jumped
Yeah.
back to 1, 2. Like, I mean, they haven't really had progression previously, so why do it now?
Well,
I would
because I
say
mean,
in
Battle.
terms-
Oh,
Go ahead.
well, like Battlefield One is kind of like presented as kind of like not like a relaunch, but like a soft reboot of the series and such. So like it is. There is Battlefield like pre-Battlefield 1, like Battlefield 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Battlefield 1 is like, I mean, even goes by the name, like it is like kind of like a resetting, and like they are going similar market, like they are going a similar like promotional way as Battlefield 1. Like the artwork, the box art is like very similar to the Battlefield 1. Like they are making it like like they're making this a progression because like that's how they're presenting it as a progression of, not a progression, but like as like the next game after Battlefield 1. That's how they're presenting it. Like
Okay.
why they called it Battlefield 5 is like that's a whole different conversation. But they are the way like they presented it. They are making it as like it fits with Battlefield 1.
So it's kind of like a PS4 and then a PS4 Slim kind of thing. They're not doing it. To me, I kind of see it as they're not doing a completely fresh idea. They're doing it kind of like a spin-off, not spin-off, but like a kind of
More refined
middle
idea type thing.
generation game, and then they're going to do a whole new one,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Right.
Because they're using the same like artwork and all that, so it's not completely new.
Yeah, to be fair, there is actually going to be a lot of asset recycling from Battlefield 1 into 2, especially with some of the weapons.
I mean that's just
Yeah,
that's
I
just
mean,
how
which
that's
is
just the
fair.
natural video game.
Yeah.
Like that's just how the video game industry works.
Yeah, like you're not going to create new assets if you absolutely don't have to. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
that to say, Patrick Sutherland making $48.3 million.
It's like, all right. So what were we talking about again? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
All right.
how does like one company have that much money to give to one person?
Good, I know. It's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah.
Like,
It's
it makes you
EA.
wonder like
No
it makes you wonder
idea.
like what the people at Activision are making, because Activision is much bigger than EA.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like that may be out public, but like I can only imagine.
Right.
You guys hear that Apple surpassed $1 trillion like
Oh, yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
Yeah.
something?
But it's not like their CEO takes home a lot necessarily.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Maybe,
mean,
you know.
I don't know.
Oh, he's living comfortably. He's
Yeah,
definitely living comfortably.
He's living comfortably. I'm just
Tim
saying,
Cook-
it's just like it's not like the
Tim
CEO
Cook is doing
takes
all
home-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No issue
So
there.
wait. Actually, EA is worth $18.9 billion. I find that interesting considering that like Nintendo is worth $50 billion. I looked that up the other day, and I think Sony is worth slightly more. So, you know,
Well, I mean, okay, so it's like
EA.
Because their
EA
hardware
no,
did
that made sense.
Yeah.
Like that made
Yeah, they're
sense. It's
hardware
like Nintendo
developers.
is hardware, software, and everything. They do it all. And then
Right.
Sony is also hardware, software, but they also have a lot more hardware than Nintendo does, because you know
That's right.
it's like they made
They got the Walkman.
they made Blu-ray
And-
players, they made TVs,
And
they
Sony's
made
like they're
speakers,
like a
yeah.
whole media conglomerate.
Yeah, they're like an electronics company. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I get that. I get that. I
Like-
find it interesting considering that EA isn't even the most successful, video game
Oh, yeah.
figure,
Yeah.
and they have this much money to give to their higher name.
Yeah, in terms of like just publishers, like EA is the second biggest, and then Activision is the biggest. I mean, they're both they're both on the Fortune 500, which is insane to think
Right.
like that these two video game publishers are on it. Yeah, but I mean, video games, they are definitely a money-making business.
Definitely. I always
Alright.
get confused
Oh, what's up?
between Activision and there was a company that shut down about 5 years ago. I
Activision
keep
and what?
thinking that it's... No, I always get confused between Activision
Yeah.
and a different company that was shut down 5 years ago. So I keep thinking that Activision's been shut down, but they haven't.
Oh,
I
They're-
always get
they're
these
not
two
gonna shut down.
confused.
Activision was before Call of Duty. Activision was the very first third-party publisher for Atari, actually. And
Yeah.
they were effectively
Okay.
they were almost shut down in the 90s. But that's
And it is, I mean, it is weird to think about. Also, like I always just think about how like Activision Blizzard are the same company. It's just weird to think about.
No,
Because you
isn't-
never
didn't,
you
Blizzard-
never associate them.
Didn't Blizzard buy their share back though, or whatever? So it's more like.
Well,
yeah,
no, they were
Blizzard.
always like it's Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
Like they
okay.
they bought their shares from Vivendi, which is like
Yeah.
a media corporation, but they're like it's like Activision Blizzard is the parent company. And also
Mm-hmm.
like so they're just like their sister company. They're sister companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vivendi,
so-
it's like Ubisoft fought a very hostile takeover
Oh, yeah.
attempt from Vivendi like a year or so back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that was a little tidbit. All right, we gotta move on.
Yeah,
that was a
It's been
while.
an hour and 5 minutes. We're not even through gaming yet. We gotta go on. All right.
I'm
so
sorry.
no, it's fine. It was great discussion. Everything was fine. So all right. So Face It, okay, is a service that if you play Counter-Strike or Dota 2, you might know about. It's basically third-party competitive servers. So for example, in the case of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you play on official Valve matchmaking servers. You get features like 64-tick refresh rate, which is how many times the server refreshes per second, which means the server refreshes 64 times per second. Okay? So it's like
Okay.
that's on a Valve
Understood.
server. A Valve server also has Valve Anti-Cheat, which is Valve's in-house developed anti-cheat system, which works okay. It works okay. It could be better if they... Alright, this is a little bit technical going into computer security or whatever. If anyone is super duper like into this sort of thing, I might get a couple terms like not completely correct, but this is to dumb it down. So in like a computer operating system, there are layers of security and depth that you can go. There's about seven of them or whatever. Basically, the further down you go, the more access to everything you got until eventually you get into the kernel level of stuff, which is just like you can control hardware from all that sort of thing and whatnot. It's very
You're
in-depth.
reminding me of Leonardo DiCaprio right now
Okay.
with Inception.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, we have to go deeper. All right. So, anti-cheat systems in games, whether or not you know it's Punchbuster or whatever, or BattleEye or whatever, what have you, Valve anti-cheat, they are all written to go into these layers to detect how cheats work. Because how cheats work, by and large, is that they hook and inject code into the running executable and game files themselves. Okay, so that's how the cheats work, and then these anti-cheats are programmed to go a certain levels deep in the operating system to try and catch it and stop it. Okay, Valve anti-cheat, because of Valve's moral compass, which is fine or whatever, right? Only goes like
Not the worst.
Yeah, it's like goes like 1 or 2 layers deep or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like it catches a lot of stuff. Anything that's programmed by someone who's not a 14-year-old in their mom's basement, it probably doesn't catch, especially anything you pay money for. Okay, so cheating has been an issue in Counter-Strike since inception. Global Offensive is no exception. So, because of this, if you ever, Counter-Strike is a very competitive game. It's played a lot during esports and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the LAN settings, the local area network settings for these esports tournaments and everything are a lot different than what you encounter on Valve official servers. The server, it's like
Makes sense.
the server running is at 128 tick, which means it refreshes 128 times per second, which is double the amount that
That's
a
a
normal
lot.
Valve server does. Yeah, it's a lot. And it's also played off the same area network, of course, which means there's virtually no latency between the players and whatnot. So, yeah, so companies to try and like get it so that the pros and other people that are a little bit more serious about playing develop these third-party like clients and sites or whatever that try to mimic LAN as much as possible, which means they have like very hyper-specific server locations that people can pick to reduce latency as much as possible, and their servers operate at 128 tick also. Okay, and they have a more in-depth anti-cheat. Give you an idea, ESEA, which is one of these providers for Counter-Strike, at least, they got busted a couple years ago. Their anti-cheat goes on to, I think, layer 3 or 4, so a lot more in-depth than VAC, which goes to like 1 or 2. ESEA got busted for running a Bitcoin miner on people's PCs using their anti-cheat. Yeah.
Dear me.
Anyway, so it's like the more community-favored service has been Face It, and it is smaller in North America, but a lot bigger in Europe for Counter-Strike. FACEIT runs this third-party service for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and you know, they have the whole 128-tick, more in-depth anti-cheat and whatnot. And yeah, they do a great service for Counter-Strike. So they're doing the same thing, but for PUBG now. They're offering higher refresh rate servers and everything, better anti-cheat for PUBG and whatnot. And yeah, they recently announced they're beta testing PUBG on their servers. I happened to do the beta code. It was awesome.
Nice.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you played it yet?
Yeah, it is
Using
noticeable. It is noticeable. It's like,
Oh, wow.
damn. Yeah, so it really speaks to like PUBG having having their own server issues and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
PUBG?
like I've never played PUBG because like I just don't have a system that's capable of playing it.
Yeah.
But the biggest complaint I've heard is like it doesn't run super well.
Yeah.
So like I've heard it's gotten better, especially on PC.
Mhm.
But I mean, anything to make the game run better is definitely a plus. I mean, and cheating is like kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an issue. So I mean, it's really hard to crack down on cheaters, like especially when there's so many different ways to cheat in a
Mhm.
game. So I mean, any efforts made to like make the game experience like more fair and then more enjoyable for the player base is definitely a plus.
Yeah. So anyway, so far it's been really good. You know, I got no issues. One thing that's really nice is that you can region lock it. So you're only playing with like North Americans
wow.
or whatever. Because PUBG used to have, or still has the issue of, their region lock system is pretty broken. So there will
okay.
occasionally be like the Chinese or Korean in your game or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, it's pretty cool. I'm happy to see FACEIT expanding across, you know, offer more games. I'm really hoping that at some point we get to see Rainbow Six on FACEIT. I think that game would really benefit from what FACEIT can do. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that was my spiel about computer security and whatnot and anti-cheat.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd.
Good to know.
Yeah. Hey, you know a little bit more about how your PC works. All right.
Yep.
The more you know.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead, move on from gaming news after like an hour and 15
Wow.
minutes. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, movie news. Topic we got for this week. Idris Elba. Everyone familiar with who that is?
Yeah.
As of 5 minutes ago, yes, I am very
Oh
familiar.
my god.
Okay. He is rumored to be the next James Bond. He's going to be replacing Daniel Craig after his final movie, which Daniel Craig is still rumored to be doing the 5th movie.
Oh, dear.
I think he is. I think he is confirmed to do it.
Okay, then yeah. Idris Elba is rumored to be the next James Bond.
He's the dude out of Luther, isn't he?
Maybe?
Well, he is. Wait, did you say he is on Luther? I don't know if you I didn't completely hear the question, but what was the question?
He's the guy out of Luther. Isn't
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's also been. I mean, for more
He's
like
done a lot of
access.
stuff.
Yeah, like maybe like it's not his biggest role, but probably the most widely known role is he's Heimdall in the Thor
Heimdall.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
he's
like-
in Pacific Rim and all that.
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond as well.
Yeah.
Which is
I never saw it. So
He
I
was
mean,
the gunslinger
he's-
in Dark Tower.
yeah, we don't talk about
yeah,
that.
we don't- let's just dismiss that one.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been rumored for years now, even like before like even I think like I don't know what I'm trying to go, but he's been rumored for a while. I mean, you always hear people say like, oh, you should make James Bond black or make James Bond a woman, which I like. In theory, I agree with like changing up these characters. Like, I don't think it should make James Bond a woman because that kind of inherently defeats the purpose of the whole character.
Right.
It was this comment on like masculinity and like misogyny in a way. But I mean, it would be interesting to see how they. I think he's a great actor, and I think he
Yeah.
can very capably
Yeah.
handle the role. But it'll be interesting. I wonder if like they would change the film to like reflect that, because obviously, I mean, the experience of just being a high-ranking British spy would be different as someone who is black than it would be of like someone like Daniel Craig.
I think that was a very American approach of saying that.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta keep in mind that James Bond and Idris Elba himself are both British, and they have a slightly different concept
Yeah.
of race, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the
That's
whole
awesome.
thing. James Bond's supposed to be like a upper class. I'm not saying that Idris Elba isn't, but he's like a. It's just the accent differences. Like Idris Elba's accent is like, I'm not too sure what it's called, but it's like the rougher version of English anyway.
I feel like
Um,
accents are pretty easy to get past. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, Tom Holland.
Yeah,
We had
Garfield
Sean
Ford-
Connery as James
Yeah, I was like
Bond.
they say, we've had an American play James Bond, so
Right.
I don't
yeah,
think they're.
I'm just saying, like, he's the kind of he's more of a, like, I don't know,
Like
just his mannerisms and everything are, like, not as refined.
I would say it'd be a little more rugged as James
Yeah,
Bond.
a lot more rugged, I suppose you could say.
Which I think would be a cool angle to take it.
Yeah,
just
that'd definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
like a little more like grittier James Bond. I mean,
I don't know, it's
obviously, like I.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, keep
sorry,
going.
what?
No, keep going.
I mean, it would be. I think even more interesting would maybe be like having like an Indian actor play James Bond, since like the whole relationships between Britain and India is like kind of was like pretty a tense subject back in the day.
Mhm.
So like I wonder like that would I think, but I mean, I have no issues with it because I mean, I'm not the biggest James Bond fan in the world. I've seen some of his movies. I like it. I'm not like super invested in them,
I
but
prefer Mission Impossible, to be honest,
Fair enough.
because they're both kind of similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
I don't know. It's like Daniel Craig, definitely my favorite James Bond. I'm a massive fan of him in the latest.
Oh yeah,
James
he's
Bond
great in
movies.
it.
Yeah. So it's like I think it'll be hard to replace him, but like Idris Elba is a perfectly capable actor, and I think
Yeah.
And it's like I would watch the movie or whatever. Yeah. It's like I would watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's cool.
I mean, it is interesting because like I mean, there was a point where like Tom Hiddleston was rumored to be James Bond,
Mhm.
and like these movies, I don't even
That
who
would be
knows when they're gonna make. Yeah, I mean he's great. He's also like he would be great too,
I
but
love that.
I mean it would be interesting because like I don't really know what the status of the next James Bond movie is. I don't know if they're filming it or not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're obviously thinking for the future.
Yeah, I know they had lots of issues getting Daniel Craig to actually agree to the fifth one.
Oh,
Like that was a
yeah,
massive
he's-
part of it.
he had words to say about doing another James Bond movie.
Yeah. He wanted a buttload of money for it also. It was just
Yeah.
like yeah.
Which I mean, to be fair, those
Which is
movies make a
fair.
lot of money.
Yeah, which is fair, but it's just like
Yeah.
Did you know that Idris Elba was apparently a voice actor in Rainbow Six Siege? Apparently.
is he Castle?
It's just it just cast him as team leader.
Oh.
Apparently on it.
Oh,
IMDb.
okay. Okay.
Kind of,
Ah, yeah.
I think he does like the radio voices or something.
Mm.
Okay.
it's pretty neat.
All right. So we all happy with Idris Elba being the next James Bond?
Sure. why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll probably see it in like a decade, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
Rest in
probably
peace,
seen like-
Heimdall, by the way.
Yeah. Never forget.
Yeah. He didn't really get his due in those movies, so.
Oh no, he didn't. In Thor
He
Ragnarok,
kind
he
of
was a
did,
pretty cool
yeah.
guy. In
Yeah, Thor
Ragnarok,
Ragnarok kind of like made up for it.
but then Thor Ragnarok just the beginning of Infinity War totally undoes everything that Ragnarok does, unfortunately.
I mean, that's fair. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nerd Awakens in the chat wants to be the next James Bond after Idris Elba. Yeah, man. Go
Oh.
audition.
Okay.
Put on your best accent.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you can do an accent and like you wear a suit.
Really well. All right.
Or don't wear a suit. Come in like swim trunks. You know. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know.
That's not
change up the
James-
role.
That's not James Bond.
That's 21st century James Bond. Who are you to judge?
No.
Oh lord.
okay.
Yes, because everyone will take a guy in swim trunks very seriously.
I don't know. Anthony, will we ever see an Australian James Bond?
In swim trunks.
I think there already has been one, hasn't there? Like an Australian actor who played one. Sure.
Off the top of my
feel
head,
that.
I don't think so.
No, okay. Well, I mean, it's
Hey,
Australia's
thanks for the
probably
cheer.
next
2
best thing
bits.
to
Nerd
do it.
Awakens. Thank you. All right. Anyway, what were you
Yeah,
saying?
good job. It's probably the best. I mean, like, if they can't get an English person to do it, I suppose. I mean, Chris Hemsworth would be a good James Bond.
Ooh.
That'd be
I
cool.
reckon. He would do good.
Is he?
I'm trying to see.
Is he
What?
American? Is he Australian?
No, he's Australian.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Lives in Byron Bay, New South
Okay.
Wales.
Didn't
I think
know
Christian
that.
Bale would make a neat James Bond. Christian Bale from the Dark Knight series.
Martini. Shake
Christian-
it, not stirred.
I like how you had to like
Dry.
specify Christian Bale from the
From the
Dark
Dark-
Knight series.
Oh, well, I was thinking, what? Is he Australian? No, he's not.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like Batman
yeah, like-
becomes James Bond. Oh no.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not like that enthusiastic about who plays James Bond because like I like the movies, but I'm just a casual fan of them.
Okay.
yeah.
It is interesting because like to see because like it is an iconic role.
It is. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
kind of similar to like the whole Doctor Who thing because like everyone was wondering, oh, is Doctor Who gonna be like a woman? And turns out they did. So I mean, it is like the time of like reinventing classic British figures, I suppose.
And I've always like bought into, I don't want to say the theory, but more or less the concept that it's like James Bond isn't necessarily one person. It's just like the code name given to the like a pretty good ranking MI6 agent.
I've seen
there.
that.
Yeah, and I kind of buy into that, considering that it's like all the old movies really aren't connected to each other. There's like sets of 2 of them that are the exception on a couple of them, but then like all the Daniel Craig movies are very connected to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always kind of liked that whole thing.
I don't know. I kind of would like. I mean, personally, I kind of would like to see them like just like reset the movies with each actor, like get a whole new cast with each actor.
Yeah.
But like, cause I mean, that's just my opinion. Because I think it's always cool to like, it's like a recasting a new actor always allows you to like reinvent everything. Like just get a new M and a new Q, like rather than using the old ones.
That actor is going to provide his own like unique take on the character.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, are we good to move on?
Yep.
I think so.
Yes.
All right. Got some really sad anime news. This really broke my heart to read it, actually.
I don't know why I'm smiling.
I bet.
Unsho Ishizuka, the Japanese voice actor of Professor Oak from Pokemon, and Jet from Cowboy Bebop, among many other roles over the years, has passed away due to esophageal cancer.
It's really sad to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Like, how old was he?
He was like 67.
Okay, I was gonna say 76. So like maybe like I just had my numbers mixed up.
Yeah, he was 67.
I mean, I'm someone who's I've never watched Cowboy Bebop. It's a game. It's a movie that's a show that's on my list to watch, and like I just never watched the original dub of the original voice actor of Pokemon. But I mean, it is sad because like obviously like even without watching it, obviously still he's an iconic voice actor just by those two roles. Just by those two roles alone, he is like an iconic and prolific voice actor. So I mean, it's always sad when like these high-profile people die especially with an anime community that's like such a community that's so like passionate as like I don't want to say like the anime community because that sounds weird, but like they are fans of anime are very passionate about like anime in general.
And we hold a lot of like respect towards the voice actors, especially the Japanese ones, where it's like as we refer to them as seiyus or whatever, because that to us is a little more different class, like in tier than a voice actor. Yeah. So
yeah, they're like the ones who have brought characters or the actual characters, and they
right, exactly.
It's kind of the dubbed versions kind of go off that. So
yeah.
I
mean, yeah, naturally when you speak it in the original language it's written as, it's gonna be a little more authentic to it.
Right.
So like that is the original versions of those characters. He is the original version of Professor Oak.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Ethan.
Sad news. It reminds me of Iwata passing away a few years ago. That's same sort of situation with the cancer, different kind of cancer, I think. But yeah, it's a really sad business. I can't say I've ever seen the original Pokemon series myself, but it's always sad to hear anyone pass away.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, when you said the story, the first thing I thought was like, oh, Iwata. Like, it is kind of similar. Like, this highly respected Japanese figure, because I mean, obviously, respect is a very big, important concept in Japanese culture.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So like, whenever like a highly respected figure such as them die, it is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much.
Definitely.
I'll say it's like I always do get whenever like a high-profile person dies or whatever. I do get a sense of sadness, especially if I'm like a fan or whatever. Like say when like David Bowie died or whatever. I'm a big fan of Bowie's music, but it's like when he died, I was like, oh yeah, that's sad or whatever type thing. But like I will say that like Iwata's death was definitely like the first high-profile one that kind of brought me to tears quite a bit. Just because of how responsible he was for so many experiences I've had and whatnot over the years. Yeah.
I heard I was listening to I think it was an IGN podcast recently, and someone on it pointed out that video game is a weird medium where it's still incredibly young. We're still at like the beginning of the history of video games.
Yeah.
So you talk about anybody who made like I don't know in movies The Godfather. Like a lot of those actors are kind of they're dying off.
Yeah.
I mean,
people
the first
from early
movie.
film history.
Yeah, the first
First
movie
movie-
was like almost 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's been like centuries ago. It's been like a century ago. So like the first, like the pioneers of video games are like most of them are still alive.
Yeah, I know. This
Yeah.
person I was listening to, his name is Jared Petty on IGN, and
Yeah.
he said that he was one time playing in like a museum.
Yeah.
Computer Space Wars, the very first computer games, next to the guy who made it. Like, video games are super young,
Right.
but still, I mean, the people who originally created them are getting up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Nerd Awakens shares the sentiment of Iwata and Carrie Fisher.
Oh, that's a good
Aw.
one.
Yeah, hers was pretty sad too, Princess Leia.
Yeah, she was like, I think her, like, I mean, I was definitely like, I'm a fan of Bowie's music, that like, and so I was sad when Prince died, like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
same year. That was kind of, I mean, all three of them died in the same year.
Yeah, that kind of
So-
sucked.
Yeah, that was 2016, right?
2016 was brutal.
Yeah, that was a. It's so like,
Iwata
I mean,
died 2015.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. and I mean, it's just natural. Like, I mean, it happens. Like people, you know, I don't want to get morbid here, but people die, and like
Right.
as you get older, more people, like especially figures from your childhood, they do
Yeah,
pass, and it is kind of like, and like with someone who is part of like these series like Pokemon and Cowboy Bebop, like they are like kind of like part of like your childhood and growing up, so it is kind of like part of your childhood dying, which
Yeah.
is like,
Right.
that's like that's just like, I know I didn't mean to get this deep, but like it is sad, like
Right.
it is like a part of your childhood that's just that just is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
just to
guys feel
clarify,
about?
David Bowie is was a classic rock musician who was British.
Oh.
Yeah, and he died.
So you don't know who David Bowie is?
Nelson Who in the chat was wondering.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Nelson Who was wondering.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he was a classic rock musician. He was active during like the 70s, 80s, 90s up until
Yeah,
his
like
death
one of the
in-
most influential
Yeah.
music artists out there.
Yeah, up until 2016 when he passed
And
away.
he also did like, yeah, he also like actually was really involved in, like, not really involved, but he had involvement with video games, the
Really?
film Labyrinth, which is like a really popular
Right.
film.
Okay.
So
that was
he's
pretty
like,
much
he's
his
like very,
like brainchild, wasn't it? Labyrinth.
I don't know off the top of my head,
Okay.
like, but like he was very much involved with pop culture in
Yeah.
general.
All right.
I will say on the note of Carrie Fisher, I'm looking forward to see what they do with episode 9. Have you guys heard that?
yeah.
I'm glad they.
I
I'm glad
thought
they
you were gonna
brought
say
it
something
back.
else, and I thought you were gonna say forward to when she died.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I was like,
What?
it already happened. We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the show, actually,
Yeah.
because we talked
Really?
about that. Yeah, we talked about that cast list, and this came up
Mhm.
Right.
for episode 9. And it's like, I guess they're using footage
Unused
of her from
footage, yeah.
episode 7, which either means
And
she's like, yeah, and 8, which either means it's like they're gonna be a flashback type thing, or they're gonna splice it
Mhm.
in somehow. Which, to be fair, they totally could splice it in because
Oh, yeah.
Disney, for at least the past, I don't want to say decade, but at least the past like 8 to 6 years maybe, they've used the exact same camera equipment across all of their live action movies.
Oh,
For those
wow.
of you that are curious, that's a Red Dragon 4K camera. And
Okay.
they have
Red
the,
is expensive.
yeah, and they have the exact same like color grading standards for editing and everything. So it's not going to be like
Okay.
a jarring quality difference if they use footage from episode
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
That's cool.
So
Okay.
And,
I
like,
don't know if there's like I don't know if people are divided about that or anything, but I'm all for that. I'm happy that-
I think it's a little
No.
weird.
I mean, it is weird in a way, but like I am happy because I'm one of the people who really loves The Last Jedi, but
Okay.
it doesn't
too.
feel right. Her story like wasn't like, there wasn't an end to her story, so like I feel like you kind of like, it's kind of almost a little disrespectful to the character and her legacy just to say off screen something happened.
Right.
Like, I mean, it does happen,
yeah.
but I like that they're giving her the chance to, they're
Me too.
giving the chance to like give closure to her story, even if she's in the film for just what amounts to a scene or two.
Right.
Like, she deserves her story, her character and Carrie Fisher deserve closure.
Right.
And like
I
this
agree.
is giving them closure. Obviously, just by the nature of the story of these episodes of Star Wars, she was most likely gonna have a very big role in episode 9, just by the nature of like Kylo Ren and like what's happening. But I mean, I like that they're giving a chance for closure.
Yeah. So
Well
it's
put,
like
well put.
one.
I agree.
So it's like, I'm of the opinion that she should have died in episode 8. Like, I'm of the opinion she should have died in episode 8 type thing.
Is
It's
this
like-
like based off like the events in the film?
It is, yeah.
Okay, but like I get where you're coming from, but also that would mean they would have to redo the entire like back half of the film,
Right.
which is like
Yeah, they would have to.
impossible.
I know, but I'm just saying,
So-
it's like,
Yeah.
They could have killed. Yeah, they could have killed her off in episode 8. I think they had a decent opportunity to. I am happy, and it's like, as weird as this might seem, I am happy that it's like, at least we can reasonably say it's not going to be an off-screen death, which, as you guys mentioned, is going to be like super disrespectful towards the character.
Like, I do see where people come from when having her like, oh, she should have died in episode 8, but she was so important in like she was in so much of episode 8, like even after that scene, like it would have been like almost impossible. They would have had to delay the film like a whole year to redo that footage. So like they couldn't have killed her off. Just it would have, especially because like Disney is very strict about release dates. Like they are going to release the film when it comes out, and so it just would have created a whole mess of problems. So like, and that would have probably, and like that was just. I like how they're just giving her, like I said, they're giving a chance to just like say goodbye, which like episode 8 didn't really give a fan's a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm surprised I haven't thought of this before, but I find it kind of ironic or rather coincidental. Obviously the scripting for episode 8 probably finished up before she died. I find it interesting that she kind of dies and then comes back like halfway through that movie. Which I'm sure was totally unintentional, but that's really that's kind of creepy to me.
I mean,
I think they would have expanded that whole thing onto a plot point, saying, "Oh yeah, Leia can pretty much use the Force now." I feel like it
was implied.
Yeah,
she could use the Force in like episode 6 and episode 7. Like when Han died, she was like she could feel it. Yeah. And then, like, I mean, spoilers, she, like, for those who haven't seen Last Jedi, she would have been the only original trio member still alive. I'm sorry.
Have you really not seen it?
No.
Oh, well, man.
I'm sorry, like, my stance on spoilers is that if a movie's out on home release, it's okay to talk about. But,
I can't tell if Anthony's upset or not. I really can't.
Are you upset?
Okay.
Are you upset? Are you actually upset? Like, I don't want to, like, do anything wrong. Like,
it's like, oh, man.
I actually feel bad.
I can actually tell.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Sorry about
because she was the only member of the original trio still alive.
Yeah.
So, and obviously we know, like, Mark Hamill is gonna be back in episode 9, which we all knew.
Force
like,
Ghost.
we all knew he was gonna. Yeah, we all knew he was gonna do that. But like, she would have been the only like connection to that. Obviously Lando's coming back too. She would have been like the only tangible connection to that old series. And so, I mean, it is kind of sad, like how like she died before, like they never got a chance to actually use that. And like, because obviously they had to have the big emotional her and Kylo never had a scene together, which is like, obviously that was going to be a big part of episode 9, and it's just not something that they're going to be able to do anymore.
I think this is kind of telling to how much rewrites 7 and 8 got throughout the course of like production and everything, because all right, so we have to, it's like if we operate under the assumption that she's gonna die an on-screen death or whatever, that means one part of the at some point in time a scene shot in either episode 7 or episode 8 had her killed off.
I don't know though, like I feel she should have died way back when, like before they even started doing these movies. I honestly don't think that she's much of an important character, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm not talking about this much is because I've already kind of spoken about it a couple of weeks ago. So, but she never, back when like the episode 4 and whatnot, she never really caught my attention as a character. So she was kind of one of these people who was like, oh yeah, she exists, but it doesn't really matter if she gets killed off, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
See.
And to be honest, I didn't really like her either.
Okay.
So, yeah, it doesn't really bother me either way. But I like when she was in The Last Jedi, because I haven't really seen it, but she got, like, she was in like a ship exploded or something. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could have tied it in then, where she could have been killed off and then replaced her with someone else, I suppose.
Obviously, we'll probably want to clarify. You mean you don't like her character necessarily?
Yeah, I don't like her character.
But like I said, the thing is, like, she was a major part of the rest of the film from that point on. Like, she was very important. So like, they would have had to reshot the entire back half of the film essentially.
I don't know. It's like, all right, so she was like in a coma, right? And she only showed up when they got on the salt planet. Yeah,
but like but still, that she still was there in a lot of it. It's like
yeah, okay.
it would have been like, I mean, but I feel like I don't even remember what I was gonna say at this point. This is a conversation that's gone off the rails, but I'm okay with it.
What were we talking about again? Oh yeah,
Um,
Professor Oak.
I mean, it kind of ties into celebrity,
Yeah, I know.
to like celebrity deaths.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. Although to your point, I don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to actually necessarily kill her off in episode 9. I mean, it's obviously a reasonable guess. Yeah, guess, but like, I mean, who knows what these scenes are? Because I wouldn't think that they would have her die, because obviously there was a long-term plan for her. Because they obviously these movies, these movies were made like with the whole arc in mind.
Right.
Like I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they ever intended for her. Like they obviously no one expected her to die when she did. So and she was like setting, and just because, I mean, Han dying, everyone knew that was gonna happen when it like during episode 7. So like
At least we're getting Indiana Jones 5 out of it.
That's another that's another topic for another day. But and like so obviously she had, considering her son is like the main villain of this trilogy, like she obviously had she was planned with a very important role in mind. So I don't think that a plan was ever to kill her off, and like I don't think she will die necessarily. I mean, like I said, who knows? Like this could all, for all we know, this could be just like alternate takes that just weren't used. We don't know if this footage is used. So I mean, there's a lot of questions, and this movie is still coming out for like we still have more than a year before this movie comes out. So
precisely.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a lot of questions.
I'm also really happy that she's not being CG'd.
Oh,
like, Disney's really close to getting there. Like if you guys remember in Road One, Grand Moff Tarkin.
That was so. I did not like. I mean, I thought it was
like
fun.
If I didn't know beforehand that he was CG, I almost feel like I could have like glanced over that fact. Like I think that's really close.
See, I saw it released. I saw it the day it came out, and like I didn't know he was going to be in the movie. Like, but I could always tell something was off. Like, I think I was fine with it when they did young Leia, but that was because she was in the film for like 5 seconds. The fact, like, I would have been fine with it if they didn't make him such an important character in the movie. Like, he was in there so many scenes, because
it's quite a bit of FaceTime.
Because it was very much Uncanny Valley. Like,
it was.
You could and like, it's so like, I mean, Disney's like also, but Disney does that in a lot of their films. Like they did it with Jeff Bridges in Tron, and then they did it with Tony Stark in Civil War, when they made like the young Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So they kind of been doing this whole de-aging thing, is like kind of been in there, like digitally like recreating someone's kind of like been in their MO for a bit. But I feel like it just, because like, I mean, first I just feel like it wouldn't have like I said, I don't want to say it was disrespectful in a way, but like it was also like, how can you have someone else voice her in a way?
It's too soon. It's too
Off
soon.
topic.
Yeah,
What's our opinion on Fortnite according to the chat?
Oh,
I like Fortnite. It's fun.
I hate it.
I was telling Anthony.
I hate it.
I was telling Anthony yesterday I'm not a big online game person.
Okay.
But with that in mind, Fortnite is especially at the top of games that I don't like, because to me it just feels like an unwarranted ripoff of success that already came before it. So that's my take on it.
Well, see, I don't like it because like it's considered a shooter game, right? And it's like I hate the fact that it's like, you know, if I'm running along, that it's like that proper gameplay dictates that if I'm running along and start getting shot at, that I don't immediately turn around and shoot back. It's to build a wall between me and the other person. Yeah. All right, Anthony, what were you gonna say?
I just feel like it's like kind of regurgitated, I suppose. This is redone, and it's like so before I played it, I was like so against it, and so against Battle Royale. And I played it when I went on holidays at my brother's place. Because stupid brother made me play it, and I liked it. But that's not to say that I will play it again. I don't like Battle Royale games, and I'm shocking at them, to be honest. I prefer something like Rainbow Six, even though that is kind of Battle Royale-ish, where you die and then you gotta wait and blah blah. I prefer stuff that's more like realistic, so as you can see. Totally like Paladin.
Totally,
That's
okay.
the other thing. That's the other thing. Fortnite it gets a lot of kind of praise for its art style. Honestly, though, there is a big difference between Fortnite and Overwatch's art style.
Oh
Something
yeah.
about- Like I feel like if Blizzard is Pixar, then Fortnite or Epic, they're DreamWorks.
Oh god.
I don't like DreamWorks' animation style or
Okay.
their art style
So
nearly as
Shrek
much as
and
Pixar.
Fortnite confirmed?
Yeah,
Anyway. No, I was
I mean,
so
they
I
had
was super
Thanos.
duper late
Fortnite
on
movie, here we go.
I was
Oh,
super
yeah.
Oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
It's gonna happen. I hate it. I hate the idea of a Fortnite movie, but
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
It's like
I mean-
I was super late to the whole battle royale train. Like when PUBG was like massively popular at its peak, I still wasn't playing it then or whatever. I would say I started playing it during its descent and whatnot, or whatever.
Right.
And it's like even more so, or it's like Fortnite is still growing, so I don't want to say that, but it's like never really, even as it was growing and before it is still probably peaking right now. It's just like, I don't know, it's like didn't really play Fortnite all that much either, at least not enough to like really stick with me or whatever. Because, you know, again, for reasons I outlined above, you know, it doesn't matter if I'm perfectly aiming at the dude, whatever, you know, I grind out hours on Counter-Strike so that my accuracy is good. Doesn't matter if my accuracy is good in Fortnite when an RNG counter determines whether or not I'm going to hit him anyway. And, yeah, it's just like, my first reaction is going to be to shoot back and not build a wall. Between,
And that's also the whole thing. I don't like the way they're bullet sponges, I suppose. Because like I'll walk around the corner with a shotgun straight to the face, like straight in the dude's face, and then he'll just have like, I don't know what he's got, and then I'm dead. And it's like, how the heck does that work?
I also really
I just
hate that
shot.
like you can be jumping, like,
Yeah.
and have perfect accuracy too. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess I'm gonna be the Fortnite defender in this place
that's
because
fine.
I mean
That's fine.
I
Go for
play
it.
like I don't play it a lot. Like I have it on my Switch and my PS4. I mostly play it on my Switch just because it's easier to play and I kind of like it better on the Switch. It actually plays a lot better on the Switch than PS4 in my opinion.
Okay.
And like but the thing is like you shouldn't compare it to. I know it's like it is a shooter like in the loosest and like by the broadest strokes, but like it shouldn't be compared to these kinds of shooters like Counter-Strike because they're two very different complete different
Yeah.
I,
games.
I
Very
understand that,
different
but it's just
audiences.
like, yeah, I understand
And, like-
that they have audiences, but it's just like
And when
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
just
it's
prefer that kind of game.
definitely a well-made game. Like
It is, yeah.
It runs really good for and like
Yeah.
it runs really well and
100%.
like with the art style like it is. The thing is, I will say about this, like Epic knows how this game runs because they can manage to scale this game all the way up to a PS4 Pro and all the way to a phone.
right.
And like the fact that's I mean, obviously playing the phone may not be like the ideal way to play it, but the fact that you were able to play it on a phone is like a testament to how well they know their engine and they know their game. And I mean, Epic is supporting this game like they are some of the best like they with new seasons, new challenges, new launches,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like
they're
I mean-
supporting it really well.
the fact that it's like and like I don't resent it for its success. I'm not saying any of you
Yeah.
are, but like I know there are people who do resent it for its success. But like, why? Like I mean, it is fascinating how this game became such a phenomenon in the
Mhm.
past year.
Yeah.
But like, good for Epic. Like good for
Right.
making a game that resonated with so many people.
So
So
it's like
I-
I guess I will say this. It's like Fortnite is a fantastic game, okay? I think it's very well made. I think it deserves all the success it got and everything. Because, you know, as Aiden was saying, Epic definitely knows what they're doing until they put a lot of passion into it and everything.
Sure.
I think it's a fantastic game. It's just not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
it
is
just-
fair.
It just
fair.
doesn't have my
Which is-
preferences in it. If it has like 100 million other people's preferences in it, that's fine. It just doesn't have mine.
Yeah, no worries.
And Taylor, you're not allowed to have opinions.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, come on.
And that's like me as well. Like I actually really liked it, but I'm not gonna get back into that kind of game. Mostly because I die a lot, so I'm just
Okay.
like,
See, you guys do what I do. I'm like that person who just when like on the battle bus I just like jump off. I go to the farthest edge
yeah,
of the
that's
map
what I do.
and then casually like hide out because no one goes there, and I just casually hide out as the map shrinks, and then there's like 10 people left, and I just like do what I can. I try to do my best.
That is the smart thing about battle royale games, not just specific to Fortnite. I think is that anybody can kind of thrive and survive so long as you're hiding off in a corner. I
Yeah.
never, in the rare instances when I do play Fortnite, I never get below like 30. I never get worse than 30th place or something like that, just because I'm good at hiding, I guess. I don't know. But
Just be a
that is-
bush and let people die.
And
Let
like
people...
when you jump out of the bus, and then like you see two people going towards the same area,
And I'm like,
you,
nope.
Like, turn around and get the other way.
Yeah,
If y'all
like
could
I
go
have
ahead
my
and check
I
the
have like
picture. I dropped
It's
in
the
chat.
worst whenever it's just like a flock, a beehive of people all
Oh, yeah.
centering in on the same place that you're going to. And you're, oh no!
you know, I just have my
glider.
glider on for the I have my glider time like as long
Okay.
as I can, just so I can like avoid people and I'm like, bye.
Okay. If y'all can
Here
go ahead
we
and
are.
check the picture
We
in
all
the
hate
chat.
Fortnite and we're talking about it.
It describes Battle
Yeah,
Royale
that's,
experience.
So that like means Epic wins because we're all talking about it.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh no, they went other way. All right, that
Who
wraps it
posted
up
that
for.
picture?
You know what? That's the end of our news block. Okay. No, we're not. We're done. Okay, Anthony, what games can we look forward to this next week?
Not much.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the past couple of weeks it's been like 15 or so coming out, but this week we've only got 5, I think.
Okay.
So on August the 21st, we have Shenmue 1 and 2 coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Ooh.
We have Guacamelee 2 coming to PS4 and PC on August the 21st.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good lord, I wasn't keeping track of that. I just finished Guacamelee, the first one, the other day. I didn't even realize the second one was coming out soon.
August
Oh,
is
man.
the month. August is the month of Metroidvanias.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
freaking excited. That is awesome. Oh, sorry, continue.
Yeah, as usual, I get interrupted. F1 2018 is going to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August the 24th.
Oh,
Are you
wow.
excited for that? Because I know you're an F1 dude.
I've never played an F1 game,
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking someone.
but I
else.
play a lot of racing games.
Okay.
So
I got like offered the chance to review, and I was like, I would not know anything of what I'm talking about here, so no, thank you.
Fair enough. Okay.
Gone Home is coming to the Switch on August the 23rd.
Play that game if
And-
you've never played it.
I have played it actually.
Okay.
And this sounds like one for you, Taylor. Little Dragons Cafe is going to PS4 and Switch on August the 24th. As well.
I've heard
Hell yeah.
very excited things about this game.
All right. Incredible. Is that it?
Totally.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's it?
All right.
That's it.
So, community discussion / questions. All right, we got one for this week from Matt, who's appeared on here quite a few times. We all know him. Given how far Nintendo has gone for Smash Ultimate, are there any characters you think that can make it into Smash now reasonably compared to the past? Ethan, what do you think?
Oh man, I want to say that quite honestly, I am pretty satisfied by this roster as it is.
Okay.
Anything else that I could ask for would be pipe dreams or characters that have already been put in as assist trophies. Like I really wanted Shovel Knight. Like I really wanted Shovel Knight. It's
I'm
cool that
surprised he's not X-Spider.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy he's an assist trophy. At the same time, I'm not because I never use assist trophies. I'm a hardcore Smash.
I'm
Final
one of
Des-
those
You're a
people.
purist,
Oh,
like
yeah.
1v1 me, FOTS
I'm a-
only, Final Destination. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
yeah,
excited
no,
about that? You can like, that I don't
Yes.
even.
Sorry. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. You can turn off stage hazards.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like of all the things in Smash Bros. Ultimate, that is the one thing I'm the most excited for.
I'm like kind of with you there because stage hazards are the worst, but I like playing Smash as like as chaotic as it can be with like
you can
eight,
create your.
8 people playing, like have all the items on, have like high
God.
drop rate, have like now morphing stages. I can't
I'll
wait.
play 8 people, but no items.
Okay.
But anyway, I love that you can create your own rules. Regardless of that, sorry, I'm kind of a Smash nerd,
No,
but
that's good.
you know, if I were to do like Pipe Dream, I would have liked it if Alucard was the Castlevania representative instead of Richter and Belmont. Honestly, because I feel like Alucard is a little bit more relevant in the context of younger gamers, gamer audience is mine.
But that's not really not what Smash is about, though. Smash is about the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Then why is Cloud in there? I would say.
Cloud
Final
is,
Fantasy
that
VII
game
means
came out.
A lot.
That
to
game came out
many
like
people.
21 years ago. That game
Yeah,
is 21
around
years
the-
old. That's
Around the
that's
same time
nostalgia.
that Symphony of the Night came out, right?
Yeah, but Symphony of the Night isn't a Nintendo title. I mean, Final
Is it-
Fantasy
what
VII
was
isn't
Final
either, but
Yeah, I know.
Cloud been in a Smash game before?
last year, the Wii U one.
Okay,
Smash
so
you.
that's why
Yeah.
he's in there because they're bringing back
Yeah.
all of the characters that were in the previous ones.
it is
Yeah,
weird because like, but like, because Final Fantasy it started out as Nintendo, so like Final Fantasy is very much associated with Nintendo, but Cloud is like the most iconic Final Fantasy character. Yet he's also not on a Nintendo system. So like,
Well, then-
there's this weird wraparound thing, like that. But like, I feel like because like Castlevania is like Simon. I don't know. From what I've seen, Simon Belmont is the more iconic Castlevania character.
Hey, I mean, yeah, I can understand that. I would also argue that, you know, Snake, Metal Gear has. That's not true. Metal Gear has been on a Nintendo platform. But
It started out on Nintendo, but not Metal Gear Solid.
Actually, it didn't even start out on a Nintendo platform. It started out on the MSX. It was
Okay.
ported to the NES.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid has never been on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah, but that's gonna be part of my point in a bit, like how Snake. But I'll let you continue.
Okay. Regardless of that, kind of on that note, I would like Crash Bandicoot. I feel like with the Insane Trilogy on Switch now, I feel like that's more of a chance than ever, which is kind of awesome to say, considering that was like Sony's big pushback against Nintendo back in the 90s. Crash Bandicoot.
I mean,
No.
if they didn't put him on PS All Stars Battle Royale, like if they couldn't get him on, why not have him on Smash?
I'd like it. I'd like it a lot. And then I know I could think of like a bajillion others, but I'll let somebody else go before I nerd out anymore.
All right, Anthony.
Well, you know my answer.
I don't.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure you can guess.
No, what-
Waluigi.
Well, yeah.
No,
Okay.
You gotta be
Wait on
original.
that.
You gotta be original.
Waluigi
you gotta
is
be
not
original.
a
Okay.
good character.
All right, so like
Wah.
the spirit of the question is more like, all right, so it's like we've seen all the characters Nintendo's willing to put in. What character that you thought could never have a chance into a Smash game now could reasonably be in it, based on what
Well-
Nintendo's been doing?
Oh,
Matt-
heck.
Yeah. So
Shadow?
I mean, yeah, that's
I
fair
like-
actually. That's fair.
I'd like to see Shadow in
They
it
got
because we got
Sonic.
Sonic already.
Fair game.
can he? Will he use his edgy guns?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
See-
Even though the Shadow game was absolutely garbage, I actually quite like Shadow as a character.
It's the best game. What are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I said that last podcast, so come on.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, he'd be awesome in it. Or even like a Koopa Trooper or something like.
Oh
be
my
fun.
God,
Yeah,
Koopa
that'd
Troopa.
One
That'd be
Koopa
fun.
Trooper, cool. That'd be awesome.
All right, Aiden,
Oh, that'd be.
it's to you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna argue that I think with the addition of Snake all the way back in Brawl, that kind of just opened the floodgates for any third-party character. I think, like, I mean, obviously,
Fair enough.
it became more prominent with, because like Wii U is really the Wii U version is really when it came the video game, mascot fighter instead of just Nintendo fighter.
Mhm.
So like I think it's honestly open to pretty much any video game now. I know it's
Duke
not a
Nukem.
third. I mean, Doom Guy. Why not put Doom Guy in there?
That'd be cool.
That'd be
he's on.
brutal.
He's on.
Just like
he's
tearing
on,
like Mario limb from limb. Good lord.
They already killed. Mario already got impaled by Ridley.
Oh yeah, true.
But
So,
here's
like,
the thing with Doom Guy, you would turn on Smash Bros and you'd have to play the entire game in first person, and that's
I would do
you
it.
wouldn't be able to jump. You couldn't jump. You just have to stand on platforms and raise yourself up that way.
Luigi's
do.
soul
I mean-
got harvested the other day. Like
Yeah. So I heard like I could be wrong, but I heard they made the stages like less like I mean it had like they made like less like falling had like less of a hazard, and I feel like I'm just kind of pulling this out of my head now, but so like I mean it's not a third party character. I know it's not really the question, but I just need to talk. I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to talk about characters that need to be in Smash.
fair enough.
Okay.
Captain Toad, how is he not in Smash?
That'd be amazing.
How is or him and Toadette as like a dual pair? Like that would be the
Idea.
best
Is
thing
Rosalina
ever.
in Smash yet?
Yeah, she was in the Wii U one.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Yeah, her and Luma.
Okay, that's adorable.
I
Wii
mentioned
Fit
this.
Trainer. Idea.
Wii Fit Trainer is the best
Wii Fit
Smash
Trainer is in
character.
Smash.
Yeah.
I remember joking playing her one day. It was just like spamming the sun or whatever attack that she has.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
the
so much
Orb
fun.
of Fitness I used to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
In terms of Captain Toad, I actually saw this really cool kind of hypothesis video, like an animation like showcasing what Captain Toad's moveset would be. I'll post it in the chat real quick.
Okay.
But I think it's pretty cool how it's the potential of it, how they could put Captain Toad in there without him actually even jumping.
I was gonna say
No.
like it would be like almost impossible to place him because he can't
Watch
jump.
this video.
But
It's
I will.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I I mean, this is like, I'm surprised they didn't like make. I said this in the Retro Rumble podcast last week, but like, I'm surprised Miss Pac-Man isn't an Echo Fighter for Pac-Man. You think that'd be like the most obvious one,
right?
And so like, I mean, I know people are joking, but like, Dark Souls should be in Smash. Like,
I want Solaire in Smash. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's honestly
Solaire.
like he's one of my answers for this question.
He has an amiibo. There's an amiibo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh god, I can't remember, is it Amaterasu from, is that from Okami?
Yeah.
Amaterasu.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that would be, I mean, she was already in, Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
but, I mean, honestly, like, really, like, realistically, any third-party video game character, like, within reason, can be in Smash.
Spyro.
I mean,
Spyro. I mean,
Spyro would be cool.
Skylanders and all that.
Kind of a copy of
Hey.
Ridley. I don't know.
I would say,
Blizzard.
like, what?
Blizzard
just
and
'cause
Nintendo are teaming up again. What about Tracer? Tracer would be pretty cool, I feel like.
Ooh. I
Be
just
a
imagine
stretch.
how annoying she'd be to play against. But yeah, if her
I mean, why
Overwatch
not
gameplay is
just have-
okay. Yeah.
Just throw someone from Diablo in there.
I
The
don't.
cavalry's here.
Oh god.
That was like Paladins yesterday. We were trying to do the thing, and I kept hearing this stupid, really high-pitched woman's voice, and it was so annoying.
Okay.
Because it was like, because she kept healing people or something, I think she was a healer, and she kept sighing and stuff.
That would be me.
What the heck are you doing?
That would be me. Like, I would just be like, I gotta heal you again.
Yeah,
Why
at
can't
least
you
you're
just
bad
be
at this
good?
game. Yeah, you're bad
But-
at this game.
Can I also use this as an opportunity to say get characters I don't want in Smash?
You went sure? Why not? Keep going.
Because I Goku should not stay away from Super Smash Bros.
See, I disagree there. I think
think
it's
Goku.
weird to say this. It's weird to say this, but I think Goku, now more than ever, has the most chance of being in Smash Bros.
But-
Because of his role in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
But that doesn't make him a video game character. All the
I
thing is, all these
understand.
characters have is that they are characters that debuted in video game, except for Rob, who has ties to Nintendo history, and Goku just sticks out.
I don't know.
there.
Rob breaks the precedent, man. Like.
But he at least has
What about
is
Wally?
tied to at least he's tied to Nintendo
Wally.
history. Like he is
Yeah,
video
what
game
about Wally?
hardware.
Hello,
Heck,
Blue
and then,
Knight
like-
244. All right.
So
Hey.
that's like my soapbox.
Okay. Good lord. I don't know. Slightly related. You guys ready for the Jump Fighters game or whatever?
Shonen Jump.
Yeah, the Jump thing coming
I'm
up.
not sure how I feel
I
about that.
kind of am.
I reckon it's great. to be
Yeah,
honest.
okay.
It does
Here's-
nothing for me.
I'll
Yeah.
feel like
Okay.
this might be a better one to bring up when Andrew gets back.
I was like,
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna set off a few people, but I actively don't like anime.
That's fair.
okay, interesting.
How dare you?
Which is weird considering that I'm like a massive fan of a major Japanese video game developer.
Yeah.
I don't know, everything about it, from the art style isn't appealing, the way that it hangs on characters' faces for too much.
Okay.
I don't know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
that's fine. Like,
I don't like.
no,
I don't know,
like,
I do feel
honestly-
like-
I kind of get what you mean.
no, it's like honestly,
yeah.
that's fine. It's not for everybody.
It's
Like,
not.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of anime, but like that's not for any like reason, like any intent, like specific reason. It's just like I barely have enough time to watch any TV. So I do like
Right.
there are like different anime series I want to watch, but I just don't. I just have not. So like that whole game just really does nothing for me, because I'm like I know who like these characters are, but I don't like know anything about them. So
I have
at
a
least with,
friend
like,
who's like a major Death Note fan, so he'd probably be really into it.
so like, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan either, but like Dragon Ball Fighters looks like that game looks beautiful, so
Right.
like that's what dragged me
It
there.
looks
This
fine.
is just like looks like a fighter with anime characters, and I'm like, it looks fine. Like if people enjoy it.
The Shonen Jump thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think that's about gonna wrap it up. Okay. I think we're about good here. We've all set our
Sure.
pieces for this one. So,
Yeah.
giveaway will be announced next week. So that's not relevant.
Next week.
Yeah. So now, part of the show where if you wanted all show to say something but haven't been able to say it, now's your chance to say it. Anthony, anything?
Don't be mean to people.
All right. Cool.
I don't know. It's
Ethan.
random.
Ethan.
The Blue Knight 245 guy wants us to dab, I think.
I refuse. Okay. Aiden, go.
I don't know. go play the Kingdom Hearts games if you haven't played them yet.
Yeah, get hyped
because
for
Kingdom
January.
Hearts 3 comes out January 29th, so you have plenty of time to catch up on the series now.
Okay.
Are we supposed to be kind of plugging where our social media is? And
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a
yeah.
minute. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. I will say 1v1 me, thoughts only, final destination, no items. Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
You're the
Do it.
worst.
All right, Anthony.
good.
Where can we find you, or is COG your life?
COG is my life at the moment.
All right,
Got
cool.
Instagram. I do stuff on the, which is our True Gaming Instagram, which I'm sure Taylor will chuck out in a second.
Yeah, man. At Culture of Gaming.
Yeah, at Culture Gaming.
Hold on.
What-
All right, Ethan. Where can we find you on everything?
I am at Linkachuchu on Twitter. That's LINKACHUCHU.
Cool.
I tweet
Okay.
I retweet a lot of Smash Brothers, obviously.
Link is in the
cool.
chat.
other stuff.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Or link to our Instagram is in the chat. All right, so at Linkachu. Got it. All right.
Linkachuchu.
Linkachu. So double chew. Okay.
Like
Well,
a
double
train.
Choo
Yes.
choo.
Choo choo. All right.
That's me.
Or
Proud.
Aiden. That's your name. That is your name.
My name's Aiden. Hi, it's
Yes.
me.
Yeah. All right. What-
I'm on Twitter at Aiden Simons. I probably should spell it since like there's a lot of ways to spell it. AIDANSIMONDS. It's pretty simple. I post a lot of like memes and like video games, and like sometimes I wallow in self-pity on Twitter, but
Awesome.
mostly
Okay.
I just talk about dumb stuff that only I find funny. So I'm a
Excellent.
good time on social media.
I
Excellent.
can relate to that.
All right, you can find me at Infurious Elicon on Twitter. That's pretty much the only place, okay? And I occasionally post on Twitter. Yeah. Never really.
He posts his favorite Eve stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm Eve famous on Twitter. So anyway, all right, that about does it. We will see you guys next week. Andrew should be back from vacation next week. So yeah, and we don't know who our fourth guy will be yet. Let's see, just a quick little programming plug here. Retro Rumble tomorrow, recording.
Yes,
Okay, Retro
Yes.
Rumble tomorrow.
I'm
Sunday.
on it. So yes.
All right, cool.
Do you also want to talk about Gamescom next week?
I'm getting to that. Yep.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
I'm getting that.
Way to-
All right, so
What's the idea?
yeah, we're gonna kind of not as insane as our E3 coverage, but still kind of in the
Nearly.
same vein as our E3 coverage. Gamescom, pretty hype event going on next week. Starts on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/culture of gaming. Power Up will be doing like recap and reaction episodes of Power Up for the events that happened on Gamescom. That is again 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting on Wednesday, running all throughout the event and whatnot. It's about that time. It's about 5 p.m. right now, so 2 hours later than from when Power Up normally starts. So yeah, make sure you guys tune into that. We're going to be providing some great content also in terms of written content on the site concerning Gamescom. So yeah. Yep. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for my guests to being here, and we will see you guys next week.
All right.